What's your name?
Hello chat, hello everyone, welcome in, hopefully you're all having a good day. Hello, we're live and alive. It is a beautiful Thursday. Chat, I'm gonna go see Spider-Man later. Me and Chloe going on a little movie date to see Spider-Man. I'm excited. Oh, I'm here, right. Oh, right, Twitch. Yes, Twitch exists also. Swellheart, hello. Pablo, hello. Yeah, the Spider-Man movie's out. You want to know how crazy it is? Apparently people are saying it's as good as Spider-Man 2, as in the 2000s Spider-Man 2, which is a huge claim, because that's the best live-action Spider-Man movie ever. So if this is better than that, oh, yeah. Because when Wyatt told me that he'd seen it and he thought it was the best Spider-Man movie ever, I was like, better than Spider-Verse? And he was like, maybe not better than Spider-Verse. The best live action. He corrected. Chat, for those who are unaware, we have second channel content. that I want to record and explore some more SCP stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll be going through a couple. I've got a few that I know I need to react to here. I tried to pick different channels. Mr. Illustrated was suggested a lot. This keeps being suggested to me. It's called Tales Foundry. It's the exact video people keep suggesting. And then Dollhouse is another one. So we're going to get through these. We'll see how long it's been. I try to react to like 3 to 5. We'll see how long it takes. Just depends how much yapping I do. Then we can always look at other stuff later. To do with SCP or other interesting thing. Yeah, there is something I want to record that I might just slot into the videos. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, okay. Chat! Some of you have told me that you do not like Twitch, so even though you like watching the SCP or reaction content, you haven't been coming over. Well, don't you worry, because I have another channel, my main channel. This is Raven SPCR. This is the channel that I've grown, my baby. This is my main channel, right? Now, it is largely Marvel Rivals focused. A lot of it is. There is other games on there when I play other games. But the main thing I'm telling you about is the fact this is where I go live on YouTube. You can see right now, there's me. It's meception. There's 2 of me. There's too much Raven. So if you come over to Raven SPCR and you subscribe, or you join the Discord community, you will see that when I go live and I'm doing specifically reaction content, so you don't have to come in if you don't want to, I will ping this tag here, Yaps. The Yaps role is for the second channel, and that is how you know when I'm going live to react. You will see and be able to experience the live Raven, all unfiltered, pure balls to the wall, cum flinging everywhere, wildness, all of it live on Raven SPCR or Twitch if you would prefer Twitch. Both channels are an option. Thank you for watching. I figure I'll slot that in somewhere in videos. But well, I stream on both. We love live recording voice lines. Do I talk that different? Is it that obvious? You played Carnival Hunt? I got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, I did. I thought it was quite fun. I haven't played it since launch. Technically, this is EA footage, but it's the same. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we got this one to go first. You will cry. Dragons. I need to record another intro, so forgive me. You guys feel... Oh, wait. Chat! Do you guys feel like crying? Because apparently this is a sad one. I have had this one suggested to me so much. SCP-1762, Where the Dragons Went. Apparently I'm going to cry, I'm going to sob, my emotions are going to go everywhere, and I do not know how to feel about it. Enjoy! Oh, fuck. Wait, chat, I forgot to tell you. This is by Tale Foundry. Oh, I swore.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Are we all ready? Tissue box on standby? And the eye drops? Okay. Okay. We can do this. No tears this time, right? If all of this seems like a little much to you, it's probably because you don't know what we're about to do here. The story I want to share with you in this video is one I've been wanting to share for a long time now. I just wanted to be ready for it.
This fucking kid's screaming on my street. Can I send them to Where the Dragons Went?
But I finally had to accept it. There is no way to be ready. This is more than a story. It's a confrontation with one of the hardest realities we dreamers have to face. If you're creative, if you've ever imagined anything, if you love fantasy, it will break your...
Sorry, the fuck's happened to Bilberry? Why is my bird so small? I was about to pause it to be like, guys, I'm gonna be real, I don't generally get sad at movies very often, but then I realized, look at my son! There we go. Why is there 2 of him on... Oh, because, oh yeah, right. Because you're seeing 2. There we go. There we go. Bilberry is back to normal mass inflated size. Also, my mic isn't working great. Right, there we go. Bilberry's undeflated.
your heart, and that's all there is to it. You've been warned. So, if you think your heart can take
But
it,
no, I don't tend to
let
get
me
very
share
light.
with you the tale of where the dragons went.
It is the origami. It's very stylized, this channel. The
A
SCP
big thanks
community
to everyone
is
who
very
made this
artsy.
video possible. Everyone who continues to watch, like, subscribe to these videos, and especially all of you who have decided to bear old doesn't start in a fantasy, but it doesn't start in a medieval village or an alien otherworld. It starts in a cold, bare, unloving observation chamber deep in the bowels of a high-security containment facility, a place owned and run by an organization known as the SCP Foundation. If you haven't heard of them, that's about par for the course. They like it that way. They're a covert operation dedicated to protecting the world from the unknowable and the anomalous. Their usual charges are apocalyptic monsters, mimetic viruses, reality-warping artifacts, and other such nuisances. But one of the most fabulous of them all is, or was, a cardboard box. You may not have thought much of it if you'd come across it on your own. Little bigger than a shoebox, spray-painted silver, the words "Here be dragons" written in permanent marker on the lid, otherwise
Here be
entirely
dragons.
empty and unremarkable in every way. It would have looked to you like a children's arts and crafts project, and nothing more. Imagine your surprise then when all by itself, the box came open and out billowed clouds of black smoke and flocks of tiny flying origami dragons. This is why the Foundation had to keep the
Hi,
box
Kamal.
under lock and key. There was something inside it that they didn't understand. Although the box was always empty, the paper dragons and the smoke seemed to materialize from the opening as if from somewhere else. And the dragons themselves were no
They're
children's
very
craft
cute.
project either. They were alive,
I like
animate,
them.
aware of their surroundings. They would flutter about and play
Is it normal that anytime I find something even slightly cute, I want it? I want to have it, and I want it to live with me, and I want to collect it. I want the blob guy. I want these guys. I just want anything vaguely cute and friendly to be my pet and to love me and for me to love them forever. Is it that weird? Is that like that strange of a thing to do? You know? I feel like that's an okay thing. I want that, yeah. I'm not paternal in that I don't want kids, I don't think. There's never been something I'm that interested in. I'm 26 now, so I figure I'd know by now. But with animals or anything vaguely non-human, I'm like, yeah, that shit, that's mine. I want it, and I want to love it, and I want to take care of it.
happily with each other or anyone else in the room until it was time again to vanish back into the empty box. This went on for some time, the scientists and containment specialists watching the dragons come and go, wondering why. Until one day, the dragons brought an answer. Or rather, a question.
That's so
It
cute.
came in the form of a letter found resting atop the box, which read,
He's a
"You
messenger
have
pigeon.
found us. Thank you. It has been so long since we last saw each other, friends. The peace has been upheld. The giants and behemoths have kept their word and have not caused any trouble since you last came and gave the order. We missed your company. How has your family been?
Aw.
Do you still know how to work your room? You are welcome to visit any time."
Aw.
The Foundation provides no explanation of the possible implications of this message, but I think it's pretty clear what we're dealing with here. A portal fantasy. Like the ones in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, some kids, through their imagination and creativity, either created or found their way into a fantasy otherworld. And now, for whatever reason, they've gone away, and the denizens of the box await their return. The Foundation continued to observe. Later the same year, another letter arrived from within the box. This time it said, "It's strange to see how much your world has changed. It is even stranger to see how we now appear in this place. In fantasy, we are much bigger. Or maybe you've grown taller?
Is there a world
Fantasy
fantasy?
is still the same. We
Yeah,
hope
where
you
they're
can
coming
visit
from
us
is
like
fantasy.
you used to. Though our room is as grand as ever, it appears yours has shrunken? We do not understand. The rooms were supposed to be maintained, as was our agreement. Please, restore the belief." This is where the tragedy begins. Brace yourselves. It seems the dragons were...
Okay. This feels like a good point to predict. They are from they are child imagination, right? That is what they are. They are child imagination come to life. So as the imagination and belief in dragons fades and the world becomes less fantastical in their beliefs and more logical and cold, the dragons become smaller and smaller, and they go from being actual dragons at some point to now being paper dragons. That is why they are saying they have changed in this world, because their ability to be as they are in this world is no longer the same as it once was. And the devastating and sad part that everybody says is sad will be that they come to cease to exist or lack the ability to enter our world because of the screaming, annoying little twat children on my street that will not stop repeatedly yelling at each other for no reason. I hate the summer holidays. Can we send kids to school 24 hours a day? What I was saying before, obviously, is that I feel like the lack of belief is going to lead to their destruction.
Starting to understand that things had changed, though it was difficult for them to grasp how. The children's bedroom, which had been the conduit from one world to another, had now been replaced with this sad little containment chamber, and without the belief of the children who'd found them, they could only manifest in our world as shadows of their true selves, these little paper things. But their hope wasn't yet gone. They were sure that their creators would never abandon them, and only requested that things be set right again. Later, the following year, after a long and fruitless wait, the dragons came with yet another letter. This time, instead of the brilliant, fluttering flock 100 strong, a mere 20 emerged from the box. They would not fly, instead walking lethargically about on their feet. The letter said the following: "Friends, we apologize for our few numbers. We have had to remain in fantasy for quite some time. The others are growing impatient. We are trying to keep the peace, but please, for all of our happiness, repair the room quickly. We know you are trying. Your family is the most imaginative of us all. It seems..."
My bad. A minute, chat. I'm gonna go shut my window. Sorry. What are we doing again? We're watching SCP Where the Dragons Went. Apparently it's sad and very good. Let me set it back to here, because I think this is about where I was. That's my bad, chat. I forgot to change it.
Understand that things had changed, though it was difficult for them to grasp how. The children's bedroom would... Brace yourselves. Understand. The rooms were supposed to be maintained, as was our agreement. Please, restore the belief. This is where the tragedy begins. Brace yourselves. It seems the dragons were starting to understand that things had changed, though it was difficult for them to grasp how. The children's bedroom, which had been the conduit from one world to another, had now been replaced with this sad little containment chamber, and without the belief of the children who'd found them, they could only manifest in our world as shadows of their true selves, these little paper things. But their hope wasn't yet gone. They were sure that their creators would never abandon them, and only requested that things be set right again. Later, the following year, after a long and fruitless wait, the dragons came with yet another letter. This time, instead of the brilliant, fluttering flock 100 strong, a mere 20 emerged from the box. They would not fly, instead walking lethargically about on their feet. The letter said the following: "Friends, we apologize for our few numbers. We have had to remain in fantasy for quite some time. The others are growing impatient. We are trying to keep the peace, but please, for all of our happiness, repair the room quickly. We know you are trying. Your family is the most imaginative of us all." It seems that without their creator's belief, things weren't going so well in the world of the box. But, not knowing who its owner was, there was little the Foundation could do except watch and wait. Sometime after that, the Foundation won't say how long, another letter arrived. This time, it came with just 10 dragons.
No.
And they weren't alone. The box expelled 3 balls of yellow, crumpled construction paper, which shook violently on the ground for several seconds before ceasing all motion. The dragons scooped them up and returned them to the box. The letter read simply, "The giants were foolish. Your room was not ready to accept them yet. We're sorry, friends. We hope that we can still see you, but time is growing short for our happiness." The dragons, apparently the ones closest to the children whose imagination made this portal between the worlds possible, were barely able to materialize as paper dolls in a world that doesn't believe in them. The giants never stood a chance. After that, carried by just 5 dragons this time, another letter. Tensions are rising. Fantasy is becoming darker. We, the serpents and the hybrids, are furiously trying to hold them back. But the giants and the elves wish to strike and make an entrance. They say that your family has grown stupid and ignorant. We hope this is untrue. It would sadden us all greatly to know that you have forgotten.
So yeah, it's very... Fantasy is their world, our world is our world. A child's belief in like magic and fantasy brought them into being, and for whatever reason, maybe it was hundreds of years ago, maybe it was like a Victorian child, we don't know, I guess. That child no longer has ownership of this box, or no longer believes, and the world no longer believes, and that lack of belief is rubbing off on fantasy, and they're struggling to materialize, they can't come through to the world, giants and stuff can't come through at all. And it feels like the world is going to go extinct, basically. Fantasy is going to go extinct.
As the reality of their abandonment set in, it seems as though the creatures of fantasy were becoming desperate. My guess is that it escalated into a conflict not between the races of their world, but between their beliefs. That they must either grasp hold of reality themselves if they want to be a part of it, or trust their fate to the hands of absent creators. Eventually, a single red dragon pulled itself out of the box. Wings torn, noticeably crumpled, it collapsed to the floor and did not move again. As the life went out of it, its body unfolded into a sheet of paper bearing a message only 3 words long. War. Goodbye, friends. Over the next 6 weeks, the box became a miniature apocalypse. Columns of flame burst from within over and over, hot enough to melt steel, taller than a man. Distant roars sounded from deep inside. It spewed out shreds of torn paper, crumpled paper balls, and the lifeless bodies of the paper dragons. There were a great many of them at first, but fewer and fewer as the weeks went on. For a while, near the end, instead of paper scraps, the box began to release what looked like scraps of flesh and muscle tissue. And then, for 7 long months, nothing. The box lay dormant.
Bodies came out.
When a message finally did arrive, for the first time since the box had come into the Foundation's possession, it came without a messenger. They found it lying inside the box, words blurred and stained with blood on the parchment. It read, "Are you still out there, friends? We miss you dearly. Fantasy is no longer safe. Our haven, your beautiful creation, is gone. The giants are dead. The centaurs are dead. The birds have fled. We are going to bury your room. We cannot risk hurting you. This is our goodbye. Maybe one day, your family can build another room. This may be a hollow hope, but we will cherish this thought." After the researchers read the message, the box began to deteriorate. The dragons seemed to be holding on to an ember of hope, but it didn't stop the smoke from rising out of the box one final time, or the box from sagging and at last collapsing. It didn't stop the cardboard from charring through, crumbling away in small, black-edged holes. It didn't stop the words, "Here be dragons," from burning away forever. The dragons couldn't hold on to hope forever. After one more period of waiting, holding on to that last ember, the dragons let go. The Foundation received one final message from the box, a papyrus scroll. Most of it was covered in a painting of a mountainous landscape filled with large trees and waterfalls. In the distance, there was what appeared to be a single dragon flying toward the horizon. In the bottom right corner, written in black ink, were their parting words. Master says that we won't see you again. We are sad. So are the remaining others. We once filled each other's heads with dreams and goals. It is so sad that we cannot share them any longer. Master says we have to go. He says that he will make us a new fantasy. He says you cannot be a part of it. We are sad. We love you. We will not forget you. We are scared. Will you forget us? As soon as the scroll was removed from the box, salt water began to leak from the charred remains. It seemed to wash away the burns, to cleanse all the scars of war. Within 3 minutes, the entire thing had been restored to its original state. No bigger than a shoebox, spray-painted silver, text written in Sharpie on the lid. Only now the words, "Here be dragons," had been replaced with the words, "Here were dragons."
Oh, fuck you.
Now you probably understand the tissue box. I'd let you borrow it if I could, but it's a really painful story in a really unexpected way. We're sad about the dragons, yes, we're sad about the world inside the box, but I think the reason this story hurts so much goes deeper than that. I think it touches something innate to all of us, forces us to confront one of the harshest of all realities, that every fantasy, no matter how precious, how intimate, will die in the end. And it's true for more than just the fantasies of our novels and fairy tales. The fantasy of youth, the fantasy of a permanent self, the fantasy...
No, my fantasy is that I get to make content and never have to get a real adult job. I quit my real adult jobs and now I make content for a living. So maybe some fantasies can live. Maybe, chat, if you believe hard enough, the dragons, they won't be dragons. They will be dragons. All right, maybe you just need to believe and keep trying. Maybe you don't let the shitty world we live in beat any type of childhood whimsy out of you. Maybe you have a goal, you have a dream, and you chase that shit and you never let go. Maybe you remain hopeful and happy about your possible future forever. Who says there were dragons when there can be dragons? Do not let the corporate machine beat all whimsy out of you. Keep fighting for the dragons, keep being friends with them, and don't let those fuckers take them from you. Because they will. They will drain every bit of happiness and dragon from you they can. And sometimes all it takes is a little bit of dragon to keep you going.
of life. All of them have to pass. I'm reminded of a passage from a poem by William Wordsworth, Ode, Intimations of Immortality. The opening lines have haunted me since I first read them. There was a time when meadow, grove, and stream, the earth and every common sight, to me did seem apparelled in celestial light, the glory and the freshness of a dream.
My dream is to peg a Gambit cosplayer in a maid dress. Oh wait, my partner is gonna play Gambit and had a maid dress. Whatever floats your boat.
It is not now as it hath been of yore. Turn wheresoe'er I may, by night or day, the things which I have seen, I now can see no more. The promise of the phrase, "Here be dragons," is one of mystery. It tells us that there is a world unknown. This empty part of the map could be home to the creatures of our imagination. Who can be sure? The cruelty of the phrase, "Here were dragons," is that it doesn't even negate that promise. It tells us that it was fulfilled and that it never will be again. The terrain is mapped, it is known, and definitively where once there were fabulous beasts and things out of our dreams, we know now that the magic has passed. As a creative, my instinct is to fight this idea. I have always loved to believe that dreams outlive the dreamer, that thoughts exist independent of the thinker. I still do believe that in some ways, but fantasies are unique to the ones experiencing them. It's what makes them so precious.
You might not believe that dragons exist in the world, but the idea that like all fantasy leaves you as you become older is wrong. I, as an adult man, obviously believe different things to what I believed as a child, and even as a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old, right? You're constantly changing all of your life. Every day you're a new person. You're always learning and hopefully improving and moving closer to being the best version of you possible. And a big part of that is holding on to the hope for a better world. Not a political video, but a lot of my politics, whether you disagree with the idea behind what I believe, relies on me believing that people can be better. Relies on me believing that the world can be better for everyone. Not just for, you know, white people in outwardly hetero relationships like myself, but for everyone, right? And like, it might not be the same as a kid believing there's dragons in a shoebox, but it's the same thing of holding on to the idea that there is better and can be better out there, right? And it's core to humanity, because if we didn't believe in these things, if we just said the world is as we see it, the world is people with so much abusing people with so little, and that is all it will be, and that is all it ever has been, then what's the point? Why are you getting up and going to work for another 80 years to be miserable? But choose to believe in something. It doesn't have to be dragons. It doesn't have to be giants. It doesn't have to be something so extreme. Just believe that, you know, your neighbors can be better. Believe that you can be better. I have made mistakes growing up that I wouldn't make today. I have said things. I have been meaner than I would want to be. I have mishandled things, and I will continue to as I go throughout my life. And the point is that is human, and you can only do better by learning from those previous mistakes and being the best possible version of yourself going forward. And like, I get the idea that like all childhood fantasy has to come to an end. But does it end, or does it just change? Do you just have different fantasies as an adult? Is your fantasy just for a better world? Is it that things can improve for everyone around you?
Give 1,000 people the same
Idealist? I don't think it's idealism. I think it's realism.
book to read, and every one of them will see something different in their mind's eye. Sit 1,000 people down to watch a film, and they'll all have different interpretations and reactions.
Guys, for those of you lagging, look, there's no lag on my end. The bars are full, and I'm at my full bitrate. It's a U-end problem. Make sure you refresh stream. Or I guess technically it could be a Twitch end issue. Sometimes Twitch is fucky, but my YouTube isn't having any issues because I can see that YouTube is receiving more than enough bitrate, and my OBS is measuring full bitrate. So it's probably on your end. Just hard refresh the stream.
Give 1,000 writers the same prompt, and you'll receive 1,000 different stories. Without all of those individual readers, moviegoers, writers, the versions of the fantasy unique to them vanish. And it will happen to each in their time. Either circumstance or mortality will eventually change the person, and so the fantasy must change as well. Our dragons become so many origami dolls. We're all a bit like Peter Pan, trapped forever between the world of our fantasies and the harsh outside reality. Or in the case of Peter, the world of childhood and the impending world of adulthood. His magic, his motivations, his entire story all revolve around the knowledge of what's coming, maybe even what has already begun for him. He tries to animate nostalgia into this immortal...
I refuse to believe this. You know how many people, for those who don't know, my main channel, right? Raven SPCR. I play this character, Jeff the Landshark, right? And it's a dumb example, but the logic tracks. Here, look. If I cut to a bit, you can see, I'll cut to near the end actually, because it'll be easier, because then it's done with the scrolling thing. I play this character, right? It's a fucking Landshark with legs. The amount of people that are like, you grown-ass man playing this character, by the way. Who cares? Why does being an adult mean that you can't have whimsy and fun? Just be happy. Choose to believe the best in people. What, like, yes, your idea of fantasy will change, but just have fun. Being an adult does not mean being miserable. It just means you've lived longer. And living longer should mean you can appreciate the fun more. My dad is the biggest, silliest guy I know, right? He's just a goofball and a teddy bear of a man. And I love him more than anything for that. Because not only did my dad show me growing up how you should treat your wife, how you should treat a woman, how you should look after your family, how you should be a positive male masculine figure, but he also showed me that doesn't mean being scared of anything fun. That doesn't mean being a grumpy, miserable fart. It means having a good time whilst being there for those you care about, whilst being the best version of yourself possible. And the idea that growing up means losing that is false. And it makes me sad that that is the view so many people have. If your idea of growing up is becoming the black and white corporate cog, then sure, you do you. But to me, growing up just means you know a little bit more, and you can use that knowledge to have a bit more fun. Your dad sounds like a DILF. 1 minute. No, 1 minute. Let me. From Raven. Dad. One minute, chat. It might be quicker if I just find the picture. On my phone. Sorry, I'm laughing at a picture of my dad. Oh, 1 minute, chat. I'm just going to send myself the picture. You want to know the type of person my dad is? Here, let me find it. It will be just 2 seconds. This is the type of shit that gets cut out the video and you just get like the actual fun bit. This is my favorite picture of my dad. My favorite. If anyone asked me to describe my dad in one picture, it's this picture. He's just he's living his best life, you know? He's brought up his 3 lads. None of us are bad people. Like, we're humans, so we're flawed. But he's living his best life. He's just happy that he has good relationships with his sons. He's living with his wife. He's living his best. He's living his best life. Just a silly little man. He is. Although don't let him hear you say little. He's very sensitive about his height. No, my dad's great.
Living fantasy, but the tragedy of nostalgia is that the feeling itself is an admission of things lost. By dreaming backward, we accept that the fantasy has already died. Our relationship with it will never be the same again, and so it goes with every fantasy we create.
But that's okay. Relationships change. I've been with Chloe for, I think, 4 years this December. Maybe 5. A decent while. And I don't view Chloe the same way I viewed Chloe when I met her. She's still gorgeous. She's still amazing. But like, you fundamentally change your relationship with everything over time. Everything changes. Nothing is the same again. Tomorrow will be different from today, and that is life. That is normal. That is the world that we live in. And like, if I am blessed to still be with my amazing fiance in 50 years from now, I imagine we will both be different people entirely. She will look different and be different, and I will look different and be different. And we can only hope that we appreciate those new things about each other together. And that's normal, and that's okay. Things change. Nostalgia is nice because it's looking back at what you enjoyed then, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy what you have now. I think this person is largely saying something kind of similar, but like, I don't feel like nostalgia isn't missing something lost. It's looking back at something you enjoyed then.
Every fantasy we experience, even if we could stay forever, to do that would be to die
very wise,
ourselves.
Ryan.
So we always have to return from it, and in some form or another, in order for us to live, the fantasy must die.
Disagree.
The things which I have seen, I now can see no more. It's a sad truth, but...
It's only sad if you see it that way. It's not sad. The way you're seeing it is sad. The way you're seeing it is sad. It doesn't have to be. Change is beautiful and a part of life. Every day I appreciate my fiance a little bit more for the human she is. I learn a little bit more. She changes a little bit more, and I appreciate those things about her. That change isn't me looking back at, you know, the honeymoon period where I could look at her and just be lost and missing that. Because, like, things change. I don't miss how I used to feel about her. I love that I felt that way, and I love her differently now. And I will love her differently in 50 years. But it will all still be love and all still be positive. Change and the passage of time might cause what used to be something to be different or not as good now, but that doesn't mean you can't appreciate it for what it was then and look forward to it again in the future.
I didn't just bring you here to make you sad. I brought you here because I think there's something to learn. As storytellers, the knowledge that our fantasies will one day die makes them precious in a way that something eternal could never be. Just the way the disappearance of the world inside the box awakens us to how precious these tiny paper dragons truly are, knowing the limitations of our own dreams makes the brief window during which we get to live them so much more poignant. It reminds us to breathe every fantasy deeply while we can, and when the time for dreaming is done, to give them a fond and loving farewell. At the very least, we don't need to leave them wondering whether we'll come back. In a way, I think this is what we're doing when we share our fantasies with others. The passing of the tale is like a goodbye. You've experienced it. You know it well enough to tell it. To you, it's become old, one step nearer.
A few years ago, my nan passed away. She was so witty and smart, and she came over from Ireland. And had my dad in England, where she met my granddad, who was Scottish. And she was so smart. She was so witty. So she came from a time where obviously women weren't seen as they are today. But she was so capable as a person. And one of the hardest things about her going was watching her mind deteriorate. But one of my favorite stories about my nan is when she came over, we knew that she was starting to show signs of aging a bit more. It was just after COVID, and she came to spend Christmas with us because she lived in Coventry, which, for those who don't know, Britain is about the middle of England, and we live at the north of England. So it's about a 2 to 3 hour drive, which to Americans seems like nothing. To British people, that's a lot. So she came to stay for Christmas, and she was like dancing away, sat in the chair, doing that little old lady jig in the chair, you know, shaking and dancing, having the time of her life. Her, my mum and my dad got really drunk one night together, and I had to try and build Owen's Christmas presents whilst my dad was sat there having a drink with his mum, and it was a really nice memory. But my favourite memory from her coming over is Owen, my youngest brother. I'm the oldest, then there's Adam, who's middle, and Owen, who's the youngest. Owen wasn't planned. We call him a mistake, which is mean, but he doesn't care. It's a joke. No, he wasn't a planned child, whereas me and Adam were very planned. So you know what it's like, brothers winding each other up. My nan was coming upstairs to use the loo and heard us calling Owen a mistake and was like, you can't be doing that. You know, like normal nan telling off. But in like, she can tell we're just having like brotherly banter. She had a big family growing up and had many children. So understands that it's nothing serious. The playful telling off type thing. As she's walking down the stairs, and we realized she seemed a little bit more sensitive to us calling Owen a mistake than normal. My dad is the youngest child, and me and Adam sort of cartoonishly look at each other, like slow head turn, both clock it at the same time and go, Nan, was dad a mistake? And she goes, in the like, just turns her head and goes, he was one of God's gifts, and then just walks away, and me and Adam burst out laughing. Just the way she had so much personality, and like I truly believe that like these moments you share with your loved ones, whether it be your nan, your partner, your parents, like my dad's gonna go at some point, but I'm gonna hold on to all of those good memories with him and all of those moments forever. And like hypothetically, if I ever did change my position on children, and if I ever had kids, I would share these stories with them, because like that's how you keep the people you love alive. Because like we're all just memories, we're just slightly sentient blobs of flesh and goop, right? Like really, what like we're not much beyond that. We're slightly too intelligent animals, and our ability to pass on these stories is how you share the special moments with people you care about. You know what I mean? I don't think everything has to die. I think, at least it does in the literal way, but not in the idea that everything has to be forgotten and left. The people that you matter to will remember you until the day you go, and I feel like the idea that forgetting it is a normal thing isn't true. You know what I mean?
The grave, but to the ones you share it with, it's new. Not the same fantasy, but one fresh to their dreaming minds. The fantasy lives on, reincarnate. As if to acknowledge this, the story of Where the Dragons Went ends with one final addendum. After almost 8 years of inactivity, the box stirred. Purple smoke began to rise from it, and as it opened, it fell to the floor, spilling out a large chunk of amethyst and a leather-bound book. The box disintegrated soon after, taking every trace of the world that had been with it. Every trace except for the book. Inside, you find the fantasy again, but in a different way. It turns out someone had traveled the world of fantasy while it was alive and cataloged its many species and environments. The book is called Beasts of the Old Letters, and through it, the fantasy comes alive in our own minds. It becomes our portal, even without the magic of the box. The amethyst was inscribed with the words, "One last time." Sometimes, that's all a fantasy needs. Be good to yours. Share them. I say that like it's an easy thing to do. Really, as artists, I think we tend to undersell how difficult it is to take care of our ideas. Translating the nebulous stuff of your dreams into something concrete is a task in and of itself, never mind making it digestible for others. No matter how good your idea, how passionate you are about bringing it to life, something as simple as organization can doom it to a fate much like these poor little dragons. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are tools that can save you and your ideas the heart.
Okay, cool sponsor. I get why people view the story as sad. I'm not going to contest that the idea of this childhood fantasy dying and this world dying to be sad. It is. But to me, I just end up stuck at the idea that it's only as sad as you let it be. I laughed at my nan's funeral because the singer was so terrible. I was stood in between Chloe and my brother's fiance, and I was getting elbows on both sides because the singer was so bad. I was stifling laughter the entire time, and I felt so guilty until I looked forward a row and I saw Sandra, my dad's sister, or, you know, my nan's daughter. So, like, the daughter of the woman that had passed, also trying not to laugh. Like, things are only as sad as you make them. Like, there are obviously objective sad things and bad things in the world, but when it comes to some things, you can choose to enjoy them. My dad and me have talked about his funeral before, and he's very open about the idea that if there is some way that he can look down on us after he goes and looks down and sees us all miserable at his funeral, he will be cranky as fuck when we catch up to him, because he wants his funeral to be us all getting drunk and laughing at the stories we shared with him, which is what it should be. If I died tomorrow, I wouldn't want my family to be miserable and sad and cry. I'd want them to be like, remember that time Cameron did that weird thing? Remember that time Cameron walked up to someone behind a bar and picked them up because they were being slightly funky? Remember that? Like, I want people to remember me for the good things, and I want people to drink and laugh at the stories they shared with me, or to remember the things that I said that meant something to them, or just point and laugh at the silly things I did that embarrassed me in the moment but meant something to them. Like, a lot of life is how you choose to take it, and I can be very negative. I have a very negative first mindset, but you can also just choose to be more positive. Things suck, but you can make them better, and I feel like the idea that, like, this is a devastating story is a mentality thing in a lot of ways, because yes, it sucks that the world ended, but like, it was also very clear that they were leaving to somewhere else, right? So you can choose to believe that the dragons had went to another childhood fantasy. They had moved on to something new that was better for them currently. It's a bit, I don't think it's as sad as people, like, it is sad, but it's not necessarily devastating like people seem to think. Anyway, this is where the dragons went. SCP-1762. It was this is the namesake of the channel in a video, right? The amount of yapping I have done, Raven yaps. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Is it has my thoughts on it changed it? Do you think it's just as sad still, or am I just a yapper? It could be both. Thank you for watching. Oh my god. That was a good one. I really liked it. I did. I genuinely really liked it. It's just, you know, I expected it to be devastating, but to me, it wasn't. It was very normal. I see a couple of you asking for things. I've got a couple I've got to do because they've been like hyper suggested. So as I appreciate those of you suggesting specific ones in the thing, we will get to Twitch suggestions after I've done a couple of the YouTube suggestions. Otherwise, all of the ones that YouTube suggests are never going to be responded to. So I've got a couple that YouTube has suggested. Yes, Twitch chat, we do have new emotes for Chloe. For those of you that are unaware, because you might not follow the Discord, these are the emotes. We have angry, cooked, sleepy, sad, love, murder, seeing, just sitting, shock, excited, and then we're back to angry. There are also emotes in the Discord server as well. Anyway, next I think we're going to do the Plague Doctor. Apparently this is a El Clasico. Chat! We're back with another El Clasico SCP, SCP-049. Now, I know a lot of you like the Vulcan, but there's been a bunch of channels suggested, and I would rather spread it out and not just take all of one creator's content. So today, one of the other channels I had suggested a lot, Mr. Illustrated, is where I'm going to be learning about the Plague Doctor from, a Euclid class SCP. Enjoy! Chat! Once I'm back to normal, Raven. It's called being a creator, Nug. I have to swap between modes. I always want to call you Mr. Rug, but you're Mr. Nug. I just want to swap the N for an R for some reason. Anyone watching this on YouTube has no idea what we talked about death for 10 minutes. No, they will, because that'll stay in the video. Because it's to do with the concept. I cut out yapping that's not to do with the content. So like this won't be in the video. Obviously all of this will be cut. But like if it's to do with a video or to do with the general topic of the video or just funny or entertaining enough, I'll keep it in. But like, you know, we'll see. Don't eat mother. No, since we... Oh, yeah, they won't understand any of that from the previous thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's a 29-minute video chat. This is going to be another long one. Lock in. I've never seen this before. Is it just like, okay, it's a content warning. Cool. Please stand by. Your video is loading. 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 Loading.
Good day everyone and welcome back to SCP Illustrated, entry log 96. Today we're going to be taking a look at an old classic SCP, SCP-049.
Yeah, it's been suggested a lot.
Everyone knows SCP-049.
People compare me to it,
that has
apparently.
garnered a lot of attention over the years. I have done a video on SCP-049 in the past, however since then the file has undergone a massive overhaul with new interviews and new content, so I've decided to have another look at it. Now, this is a Euclid class SCP, and this video does contain scenes of surgery, dismemberment, experimentation, violence, and blood. Without further ado, let's begin.
All my favourite things include violence and blood.
The following data release has been authorised by the following council members and administration staff. Incident 049, 16th of April 2017. Post-investigation report.
It has been ascertained.
Were the past reactions like one reaction and one... Yeah, so the way I tend to do it is I will like batch... It's why the feedback doesn't take effect for like a week sometimes, because I'll batch react to a couple of them. Today I'm going to see Spider-Man, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to stream for, so I plan to react to like 3 to 5 SCP videos. Then I might go check out the new Marvel Rivals update. And then over like tomorrow onwards, I'll upload them each day. And then towards the end of like me running out of SCP videos, I'll farm some more reaction content. The only thing that would cause that to break up is if a video like 1 minute. Let me switch accounts. Wow, we hit 3K on the second channel, chat. 3K! Yay! Anyway, let's say there was a big Marvel Rivals update that came out. That's why I'd probably do a reaction to the new character. Obviously, I already know the new character for this season. It's the Hood. I already did it. Or let's say something like this, like this creator, Alex, defended rape, and I wanted to cover it because I find that like this type of thing, especially as a bloke, needs to be covered. Because a lot of people won't listen to women when they talk about rape, unfortunately. So like I cover it because I feel like when you are in a place of privilege, you should use that. So I will cover stuff like that. And that could interrupt the schedule. But like generally speaking, tomorrow will be the Where's the Dragons video. The day after will be the 49 video. The day after that will be Dollhouse. And then we'll go so on and so on and so on. Someone defended rape, kind of, yeah. Yeah. He more so made excuses for Bear. If you've watched, I'm blanking on the name of the movie. Obsession, a really, really good movie. Recommend you watch it. Super dark subject. One of the best horror movies of the year. But yeah, he basically made excuses for him. It was really weird. But, you know, he deleted the video and has pretended it isn't happening now. What will I react to when I run out of SCP videos? I'm not gonna run out of SCP videos. I could react to SCP videos for about 5 or 6 years and still not run out. Realistically, right now, I'm just... the second channel, its job is to fund me not having to be stressed about the main channel. I've made 350 quid in half a month from this channel, which is about what I'd make in an entire month from the main channel. Like, really, I started making money around here. Which is enough for me to be a lot less stressed about the main channel's performance. So I'm just having fun with it. If I'm enjoying SCP content, I'll keep doing SCP content. If I find another thing I want to react to, I'll react to that. The second channel is going to largely be whatever I'm in the mood for. And right now, that's SCP. So I'm going to keep watching these. But, like, you know, it could be at some point, not literally, dumb example, I get really into watching Minecraft Let's Plays, and then it becomes that. Unlikely, but you know what I mean. If I decide I want to watch something else with you guys, that is what I will do. Generally, it will be things I feel like I can get invested in and question. I like to yap, and I don't want to just record me watching a video in silence. I want to be able to question things and explore things and get into it. So it either needs to be something like this, where I have a lot of opinions and like feel like I have something to say. Something like this, where I'm sharing my own pre-established knowledge of birds with you guys, or the SCP universe, where I'm entering a new world and learning about it. If I ever get to a point where I feel like I'm no longer doing it justice by watching it, I'll stop watching them on the channel. But right now, I'm curious enough and enjoying them enough, and I feel like I'm invested enough in learning it that I can keep watching them. But, you know, maybe that'll change one day and I won't do SCP content anymore. It isn't an SCP channel, although at the moment it is, for sure, but... We've been sitting going on the wiki for a stream sometime. Maybe. I just don't like reading very much, if I'm honest. Like, if we go to my Twitch channel... wrong one. Like, one of my biggest clips of all time is 24 hours. No, sorry, all time. Is this. Ignore Bold Raven.
You viewers are matching and fuck off. I already don't care. There's too much reading.
This is one of my biggest clips of all time. Ugly Raven, but look at the glow up. Peek it. But like, yeah, it's not something I'm massively. I've never been a reading guy. It's just not something I'm massively into. Sorry, just comparing these two images is so funny to me. Like, it's just the old Raven versus the new Raven. Just look at that. Oh, my new model is so much better in it. Oh. You want Bold Raven? It's too realistic. The old one? It isn't. It's just flat. The issue is it doesn't have as much depth. But yeah, it's also quite realistic, I guess. This one has very expressive eyes, doesn't it? Like, very expressive eyes. I like it a lot. This model's great. Reaper's disappeared from the community, but I will forever appreciate the artwork they did before they ended up doing whatever it is they went off to do. They will for always be a goat. The guy she told not to worry about, literally, yeah. Old one is less Amphro. I don't think this one is very Amphro. Like, there's not really that many human features on it. Like, the eyes aren't humanoid, are they? They're just expressive. Like, if you look at real ravens... Raven eyes. They have very human eyes. Like, they're quite, like, expressive in nature. Like, that's with its covering it, but, like, that one's AI. They can cover them, but like they have, it's kind of hard to, yeah, you can see there. It's really dark. My eyes are blue, so it stands out more. But like they do have the black, the brown, and so like this looks like it's almost turned up. They're darker than this, but this is what they look like. And you can see it in my Raven model. It's not a million miles away. It's just blue. Basically, swap the brown for blue, and that's what my eyes are. I guess swap the black for dark blue as well, right? Ravens have eyes that are quite expressive anyway. Anyway, guys, we're watching SCP. Lock in.
The death of Dr. Ham was due to two primary factors. Dr. Ham did not activate the emergency alert system. Agent negligence resulting in his failure to monitor the exchange via CCTV. Had Agent monitoring the exchange as his standard protocol, it is certain that security teams would have been able to...
Sorry, the YouTube subtitles are fucking useless, aren't they? People have asked me before why I subtitle main videos, and it's because these are useless. I subtitle all of my main channel videos myself, right? They're along the bottom. These are useless. Genuinely. Why did you... Like, surely if you are, like, somebody that's deaf and you want to watch YouTube, these do not help. I'd love to hear a deaf person's opinion on this. Because obviously I'm not deaf, so I can't say. But they feel awful. Every time I read them, they're so wrong about what's being said. But maybe you're used to that and you're able to interpret it because they're close enough.
Successfully intervened before SCP-049 killed Dr. Ham. Evidence from this investigation has been submitted to the...
I do like the Plague Doctor aesthetic. I think he's very cool looking.
Dr. Ham's next of kin have been informed.
Yeah, I like Plague Doctors.
SCP-049 is a humanoid entity roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While SCP-049
didn't plague doctors put like rosemary and stuff in their nose because they believed like it would help basically filter out the bad shit? Isn't that what it was? I mean, as far as like medieval info goes, if that's true and not just a myth, that's pretty interesting, right? Because it's not a million miles away from the idea that because they're wearing a mask, which is good, and then they're completely covered up. I also don't know how real they were. Like, how was it like every doctor would have dressed like this for a while? Was it like, you know, there was like 2 or 3 of them and it just became this big thing because it's a very iconic look? I'm not a historian. I'm not quite sure. My first interaction with a plague doctor, I believe, was in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And that's where I saw plague doctors the first time. And I thought they were cool since. This was before I knew I had bird-flavored autism. But I've always liked plague doctors. I wish there was more plague doctors in other media. I think they're so cool as an idea.
To be wearing the thick.
I'm getting hard of hearing, not quite there medically, but close enough where I use captions on every video. Most subtitles are useless on shows or YouTube because the automated creation of them rather than people who actually know what's being said. That's what I mean, kind of, or not. Like, again, this is going to get cut out of the YouTube video, but like if I go over to my channel, right, my main one, in my main channel, there's a good video actually I've done of this recently. It's a good example. I make sure that I subtitle my videos, right? Because there can be a lot of chatter. This one, I didn't subtitle 100% of it.
I've met a lot of
because it was just taking too long. So I subtitled everything necessary in these middle sections. And then there was other bits where I left it out. But you can see, like, if there's 2 people talking, like, so that's Ez talking and me, and you'll see another one there. Nah, yeah. So it pops up there. And then I also use them for jokes. Here, this scene. Is it this scene? 1 minute. I'll let this scene play. I think it's this one.
What? Oh.
This is
How
the
did you
first time I
end up
met
here?
Ez in a group.
Wait, you good to queue?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're so tough, guys. We're gonna win, like, every game.
Okay, no, I prefer you do your other voice. No, you're banned from that one. Veto.
You don't like this one?
No, it's no. No.
No, what do you mean? The retainer voice is great, bro.
Oh, wait, I'm fucking stupid. It's not this scene. It was the same. My bad. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Right. So I subtitled the bits where I'm talking.
To a fun but disappointing end. That was until. Oh no.
Is that what they?
My music taste is really cool.
Who do you think it is?
Ah!
Are you ready for another one, chat? Oh, can you
This one.
see? Fly the dawn through.
Long live our noble king. Yeah, I swapped out the American national anthem for the British one.
I
Or
am
English
going
one,
to
be
kill
more specific.
myself.
What's so proudly we hailed?
Inescapable. I love Ez. Ez is so funny. But like, you see what I mean? Like, I subtitle them myself, and even in videos where, like, to be real, I couldn't be fucked to subtitle them, they're still there. They're just used more sparingly. I think like this video, I probably subtitled all of it. Because it's I'm going to be entirely honest, when it's just me speaking into my microphone as voiceover, which is what it is in my talking videos, basically the videos where my bird is big, it's way more accurate and takes way less time to subtitle, so you will get the subtitles more. Whereas if I turn on these subtitles, considering just how many different looks Jubilee has had across the seeming to settle on her short hair only relatively recent. So like, it seems to be that it's better at it even now, that a Chinese company is whitewashing it. So like Chinese American, so like even now it's accurate there, but in like this video, it's super inaccurate, and I never understand like why. Like surely they're useless, but like yeah, if you're partly deaf and you're saying it is, you know. Ez and Raven has got to be my favorite arc. Yeah, I bet that Ez could do a good Milhouse impression.
Robes and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession.
God, we keep pausing
The
today, chat.
garments
We need to lock in, otherwise we're
seem to
going to
have
be here all
grown out of
night.
SCP-049's body over time, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays
they're bonded
indicate
to
that,
him.
despite this, SCP-049 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer. SCP-049 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though tends to prefer English or medieval French. While SCP-049 is generally
Trigger warning,
cordial
the French.
and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become especially irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-049. SCP-049 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-049 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-049 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and all
It's very
autopsies
deaf,
of
isn't it?
SCP-049's victims have invariably
Because
been
death has this idea where it's like, oh, he touches you and it's the touch of death. Like I could see it's giving death.
conclusive. SCP-049 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence. They will usually seek to then perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-049-2. SCP-049-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-049. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions,
Yeah, it
having
turns you
only
into
basic
zombie
motor
boys,
skills
doesn't he?
and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked,
The
or if
Omega
directed
lobotomy.
to by SCP-049. SCP-049-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite the
So my understanding of SCP-049 is essentially plague doctor type dude, not actually a plague doctor, but plague doctor type dude, who wants to cure the world of the pestilence. And the pestilence, we don't technically have a confirmed idea of what it is. Some people say it's life itself. I believe it's death. Like, because I saw a line, it isn't getting uploaded on the channel, but I watched another short film about SCP-49, and I'm not uploading it because people do not like that I watched them on 1.25 speed, so I'm just not going to upload it. It's fine. But in that, he's like, oh, it comes for us all. Life doesn't come for us all. Some people never get to experience life. So for me, unless that's weird writing, I'm assuming it can't be life. The only thing that comes for everyone, the true connector of all, the only experience 100% of all living things share is death. There is no other truly connecting experience, right? If you are alive, you will die. That is it. So in my head, it might be death, but you know, and maybe there's other stuff that I don't know that proves it can't be that. I'm not sure.
these alterations, SCP-049 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Special containment procedures.
Yeah, they're undead. They've died.
SCP-049 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 02 at Site 19.
Don't they let him do research?
SCP-049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-049 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While SCP-049 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behaviour are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-049 during these outbursts. In the event SCP-049 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, SCP-049 generally
Lavender does
becomes
smell really
compliant
nice.
and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-049, the entity is to be provided with the corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-049-2 are to be removed from SCP-049.
Is that the name of the zombie things? They're counted as SCP-049-2 in the same way for the... Oh, I'm forgetting the name. Was it 137 or 237 or something? The Scarlet Witch's pregnant women. That one? Their babies were the SCP number -1 through 7, right? Is that the same here? Where it's basically SCP-049-2 is an iteration or something connected to the original SCP. 231, maybe? Might be 231, yeah. So that's what that means, basically. So if I saw, you know, SCP-096-2, that would mean through some means there is an iteration or creation from that SCP. It's an offshoot of the original SCP.
Containment cell and incinerated. SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. Temporary Containment Procedure Update. Per Containment Committee Order 049 Sierra 1917-1, SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely, until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-049 can be reached.
He seems relatively chill as long as he gets to do what he wants. Like my understanding is from what he's saying, he doesn't really care about escaping. He just wants to do his research, and also if he thinks you will have the pestilence, will try to kill you. But in his mind, he's trying to cure you. So like, he seemed relatively chill. Like as far as like SCPs go, he's not like trying to break out and sprint across the world to maul a mother and her baby. You know what I mean? Like he's not like, as far as SCPs go, he's not like critically evil trying to do mass harm. He's doing what he believes to be right.
Addendum 049-1.
Yeah, if you don't have the pestilence, you're fine.
SCP-049 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-049-2, as well as SCP-049. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 049-2 instances, SCP-049 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 049-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-049 willingly entered Foundation custody. The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during the initial investigation. Interviewer Dr. Raymond Ham of Site-85, interviewee SCP-049.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and
Sorry, I just realized. Let me go back to the start because there is actually a translation on the side here for those of you that missed it.
049.
Alors.
So he says here, so then, how should we begin an introduction? And then it goes, is that French? Can we get a translator?
Comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and
a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs.
So he's intelligent. Like, obviously he's relatively intelligent, but like, he's intelligent enough to like understand the role of doctors and to have the ability to respect others. He's not like base animalistic with like plague doctor brain type shit. He is intelligent. Cause like, I know he does research, so he could be smart anyway, but like, the ability, the SCPs are weird, aren't they? In that they can do things that would require intelligence, but they're actually completely lobotomized, essentially, like 096 and stuff like that, where it's like you could think they have some sort of sentience to them, but really do they? Whereas this guy clearly has enough sentience to understand that he is a doctor, he is doing what he believes to be medical work, and this guy is also a doctor, and therefore he respects him more because he views him as educated. In some ways, that makes him scarier. Anything with intelligence is always more spooky, because it means it can have active malice and active understanding of the evil it is doing, even if in its mind it isn't evil. It can understand it, which makes it spooky. Okay, well, YouTube just works every time.
This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know what is it they call it?
He's considered one of the most rational? That makes sense.
No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
What if the pestilence isn't something as simple as life or death, like I've seen people suggest? Like, I think it's death, some people think it's like cool. What if it's something more abstract, like the plague doctor can like sense like deep greed within somebody, or evil within someone or something? You know what I mean? Because like the SCP Foundation does evil, but the idea is they do evil for the betterment of the world, right? They do evil to stop the world literally being destroyed, right? That is my understanding of the SCP Foundation. And depending on which canon and what point in the SCP, like outside writings history, will depend on how evil it actually is. But like, it's a very grey foundation in that like a lot of the people there, if you zoom all the way out, could be seen as doing good by doing evil, right? On a very shallow, like non-investigative level. What if it's something like the pestilence is evil within people, or something like that, or like the ability to do evil within people? And like you can get into the argument of everybody has the potential to do evil, which I don't think is true. Some people are just truly good. I think most people are good, but like that's besides the point. What if like the plague doctor can sense evil within people or something like that, and he sees it as his quest to cure evil from within people? Would be funny if the pestilence is just white blood cells. Yeah, but like the problem with that, Logan, is he specifically says that there is not very much pestilence in the SCP Foundation. Like he's stated he does not sense it here very much, but there's a lot of it out in the world. So what separates the SCP Foundation, which again, people putting themselves in constant risk to do evil to protect the world at large, could be seen as like grey or evil or good depending on where you see it, versus outside world where normal people are. Now, my wondering is what if it's something more abstract? What if the pestilence is evil, like within other people? The pestilence, as I see it, is actually something that that's harmful to humankind, but being treated leads to life of the person to end. That could be another thing, right? Like, there's a lot of that in medieval history, where like we didn't quite understand illnesses in the way we do now. Like how like medical care, like people do forget that within like depending on your parents' age, your parents' lifetime, lobotomies were seen as a medical treatment still. Like taking an ice pick and lobotomizing someone was still seen as medical treatment. Gay people were seen as mentally ill. Like that type of thing, right? So it's like medical science and like the world has changed so much even within my lifetime, never mind like, you know, since medieval history, which by the way, the medieval period was like hundreds and hundreds of years long. It's a wide area of history that spreads a lot of different cultures and stuff. So, you know, but like Yeah, what if the pestilence isn't something as simple as the idea that he's trying to cure life or death, but is instead trying to cure something more abstract that we just don't understand fully?
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more.
Do we think that SCP-049 would be homophobic? No.
We have wasted.
Generally, homophobia was something that came about due to the mass acceptance of modern Christianity. Historically, people didn't give a shit. Now, there was points in history at different times where being gay and stuff was null or not even labeled. Obviously, like Sparta and stuff like that. People would sleep with boys. And I say boys because they were children, because that was just what you did. Like, that was normal to them at the time. Obviously, we look at it as morally wrong, but like, they didn't identify this as gay. They identified like being what we would call a top or a bottom as the submissive or dominant role, and that was what mattered. If you were the top or the bottom. But like in terms of like different parts of history, there have been many times where being gay or gender fluid or things have been completely accepted and normal within society, and there are parts where it's been hated, and it just depends. Like, quite famously, the Nazis burnt hundreds of trans research books, hundreds, because they were obviously transphobic, right? History and humanity is a constant cycle of us repeating ourselves. Again, you go back 50, 60, 70 years and being gay was a mental illness. And now people are talking about people being trans as a mental illness. All of it's bullshit. People are people, and we are complicated, and we have lots of feelings and hormones and emotions, and like you're not wrong for being one way or the other. You're just different from like somebody else, which is fine. But my point is people view humanity through the scope of today and the morals of today, which you can do, but you also have to do that with the understanding that humanity is fluid and constantly changing. We aren't the same now that we were 100 years ago or will be in 100 years.
Too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my
Yes. Yeah, it is.
research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science.
So the zombies are his assistant?
And show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
Interviewer's notes. While SCP-049 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-049 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 049 really is a menace swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea. Addendum 049-2. Observation Log. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-049 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it has been provided. SCP-049 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of SCP-049-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-049 will often seek to share its finding with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-049...
Yeah, it's interesting because it doesn't seem to be malicious necessarily. It seems to genuinely believe that what it's doing is necessary at the cost it's doing it, and does and views that as a means to the end type thing. It believes it needs to cure the pestilence and will do it, and is willing to work with the doctors at SCP because it believes that SCP is going to be able to help it achieve its goal. And that's all it cares about. Achieving curing the pestilence at any cost. Interesting.
9 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Observational Log 049 Oscar Lima 1 Summary. Subject: SCP-049. Preface. A test subject, D85123, was introduced into SCP-049's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes. SCP-049 began by asking D85123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-049 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-049 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. The resulting 049-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-049 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficiency of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-049 back to containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 049-2 instance, and SCP-049 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem to care.
Observational log 049 Oscar Lima 2. Summary. Subject: SCP-049. Preface.
You can animate
SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-049 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observational notes. SCP-049 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-049-2. SCP-049 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted, "The disease was still in its nascent stage, my veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure." Observational log 049 Oscar Lima 3. Summary. Subject: SCP-049. Preface. SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-049 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology. Observation notes. SCP-049 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-049 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-049 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I haven't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." Observational log 049 Oscar Lima 7 full. Subject: SCP-049. Preface. SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-049 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though accepted it nonetheless. Observational notes. SCP-049 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-049 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark viscous fluid.
Hi DPC, you missed a proper yappy one. We watched Where the Dragons went, and I swear the video is going to be like an hour long. I yapped so much, it became so... I swear, it sounded like a philosophy class. Because we were talking about so much shit.
SCP-049 described these fluids as essences of the humours, and elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such a case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humours in balance, or the body will reject the cure. Over the next few days,
what the pestilence is actually is deeply debated. I'm enjoying seeing you explore the universe and thinking things through. An SCP can be both sentient and sapient. Not all of them are mindless or fearless. MT738 is a good example of one that is definitely all there. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's I'm just I think the idea that the pestilence is either life or death is a bit immature. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean it's a very shallow way of seeing it. It feels to me like the pestilence is meant to represent something more abstract, and I'm not quite sure what. Because again, there's according to the SCP-049, there isn't much of it in the SCP Foundation, but there's a lot of it in the outside world, which to me means there's something separating an average person from an SCP worker, or at least one that interacts with 049. So to me, there's something there. Like, what's the difference between those people? And that's the key to finding out what the actual pestilence is. I'm not sure what. As for where the dragons went, yeah, I watched it. I don't think it was sad. Hot take.
SCP-049 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-049 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs. Follow-up interview.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here, in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence.
Yeah, like, birds, do you mind? Sorry, when my model does that where it breaks, it's because I put my hand over my face. Like when I do this, you can see it just breaks my model. Obviously, I get the idea of why it could be death, right? Because you can see that what he's turning them into is some sort of undead zombie thing, and you can assume it's semi-immortal, and therefore that's why it's curing death. It's just, to me, it's like, because if animals can have it, it needs to be something that doesn't require sentience, right? So it can't be something like greed or evil, because many animals don't have the ability to truly be vindictive and evil. You can argue they do things that we view as immoral, but that they don't have human morals, so they don't understand the concept of evil. Evil is a very human idea of us going, what you are doing is bad, and then them going, I know it's bad, I'm doing it anyway because I want to do it, and that's evil. Doing bad even though you know it's bad. And obviously more extreme cases. It's like, that's what evil is, right? A dog does not understand the idea of evil. It might be a little shit, but it doesn't get that. So it can't be evil or greed or something like that. It has to be something abstract and unideal. And it has to be separate from the SCP Foundation, because the SCP Foundation, the Doctor's words, doesn't have a lot of it, but like the outside world does. So like, yeah, I just... What if the pestilence is something like ignorance because people who work for the SCP Foundation want to know more about the general that's a good idea, that maybe some form of ignorance is the pestilence, because I can see your logic there. Yeah. It's one of those things that I don't think there'll ever be a true answer to it, because as somebody said earlier in chat, they probably didn't have an idea for it when they wrote it, and trying to work it out is part of the fun. And it's probably a big part of why 049 is so popular. Birds, I'm going to tell this fucker that you have the pestilence if you don't stop talking. You're squawky today. What do I think about urine? Or what if the cure puts the ones that underwent the surgery into some sort of state of mind that is a constant euphoria or something, meaning whilst they are fully disconnected from the real world? True, it could be some sort of misery or sadness, but then I would imagine there is a lot of misery and sadness in the SCP Foundation. I fear I may be too dumb for this. Also, hi, Juniper.
Free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and
Jape
your
means
colleagues
joke.
are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you?
I don't think it's cancer.
No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomy.
That's a good point. What if it's an anomalous disease, like something inside of humans the SCP Foundation screens for whenever they hire? That could be, that's probably a really good idea. And it might be something that the SCP Foundation doesn't even know it screens for. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine in some way the SCP Foundation is trying to be aware of, like, anomalies within their foundation, right? Because there's some anomalies that can blend in with humans very effectively. For example, 049 could blend in with a bunch of plague doctors in the medieval period, right? So, like, I imagine they do screen for anomalies somehow. So there's a good chance that they're catching the anomaly that is this plight without even being aware of them catching it. That's a pretty good shout, kind of, is it not?
Attending researchers' notes. SCP-049 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I have watched it now over several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-049 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. Addendum 049-3, 16th of April 2017 incident. Starting shortly after SCP-049's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and the SCP-049-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-049 never exhibited any aggressive behaviours. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-049's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol, Dr. Ham reminded SCP-049 that the interview was required, and after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point SCP-049 had converted it into an instance of SCP-049-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-049 was interviewed by...
Lost net for a second. Did he respond to my suggestion of 5,000? It's one of those things. Lutai? I'm not sure how you want me to say your name. I apologize. L, it's one of those things where like I get a lot of suggestions and I will try to watch it, but like I have so many fucking suggestions to get through. Like we have another at least 1 to do today, and it's already coming up to 5. Like I'll try to get to it, but like I see Loonty. Okay, thank you. Loonty is one of those things where I really want to watch all of your suggestions and listen to all of the comments and go through every, but like genuinely I have had hundreds, and it's so cool that I've had so much support, and it's so cool that the SCP community is so welcoming and so invested in getting me to have the best possible experience with your world as possible, and I want to do it in the most respectful way. It's why I'm willing to, you know, re-record videos if I react to the wrong channel, or change how I watch them to make sure you guys can enjoy them, because increasing the speed makes them worse. Like I don't mind any of that, because you guys are showing me like the good you guys are trying to give me the best experience possible, and I want to show that experience back to you. But like the issue is it's just so many. I do not have the time in my day to watch 10,000 SCPs, and I probably got suggested hundreds at this point. So I plan to get through as many of them as I can in a reasonable way. It's just a case of when. You know what I mean?
Dr. Sherman.
Did I pay for them? I did pay for them. They cost me about a tenner because they're pre-made.
Interviewer Dr. Sherman, Site 42. Interviewee SCP-049.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence,
sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before? That it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir. I have saved it. You will allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
what disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish.
Sounds like me talking to my YouTube commenters. What's that dicks, not the nice one.
I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much.
I've had enough of this. Consider your allowances revoked.
Even you.
Welcome to containment, 049.
Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved.
He does seem to genuinely believe he's doing good.
Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And
We're trying to work out the pestilence, right? But there is always the chance that the pestilence isn't a thing. And that, like, it's just that this SCP is meant to be, like, a doctor gone mad. You know what I mean? Like, it's very easy to be like, oh, what is the pestilence? Is it life? Is it death? Is it something? But what if it's just the SCP-049 is just batshit crazy and just in his head convinces himself that there is a sickness in other people? KFC. That there is a sickness in people that actually isn't there at all. That there is, there is that chance. Like, it's very easy. Dickheads, do you mind? This is a conversation between me and my chat, not you. There's a chance that it... Fucking gobby little fox. There is a chance that there is no pestilence, and it is just between this SCP and a broken mind seeing it. You know what I mean?
You are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
That's what I mean, Luty.
Addendum 0494, Post-Incident Report Interview. The following interview is an excerpt from the 16th of April 2017, 049.
Don't make me get up.
Stop it, both of you. Now you've done it. You've made me turn my chair.
Me to my birds every time I fucking stream.
An incident report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Interviewer Dr. Elijah Itkin, interviewee SCP-049.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member.
Thanks, some random.
Do you have any comments to make? Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it. Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham? Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable. But in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation. Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seem to...
Chat, Chloe's just pulled up. When she comes home, she's going to come over and say hi to you all. I need you to all, if you have access to them, use the prawn emotes that we've added. It will make her really happy. Don't tell her that I told you to do this. It will bring her lots of joy, and it will make her really happy to see them in use. Okay? So when she comes in and I say, Mother's home, make sure you spam the shit out those prawn emotes, okay?
Be mournful during your initial interview. Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight.
Yeah, I'm moving. The more I learn about SCP-049, the more I'm convinced that there isn't actually a pestilence, and in fact, it is just the broken mind of what at some point was a plague doctor before becoming an anomaly through some interaction. And there's no actual pestilence. It's just they see a pestilence in their mind. They see something that needs to be cured because they experience so much trauma that is what must happen. They must cure the world of this pestilence. But there isn't actually a pestilence. It's just, or at least not a pestilence we aren't aware of. It's just, their mind. What makes something an anomaly? Powers? There's a bunch of things that can make something an anomaly. The old man, for example, seems to be a goop that almost puppeteers a body sometimes. I don't know if that's true, but that was the vibe I got when I learned it. An anomaly is just something that isn't human and does weird shit, from my understanding. It can be a story, it can be an idea, it can be a monster. What if 049 is the pestilence? Well, he's not trying to cure himself, so I don't think it's that. The fact that this is an anomaly because, like, he's not human. He's got like a human body somewhere, but the clothes and the robes and everything have been absorbed into him and are part of him physically. And he doesn't seem to age either, because he's like a plague doctor from Plague Doctor time.
The only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer
I don't think he showers
from the
DPT.
disease. I'm afraid you're going to be
Yes,
disappointed.
anything that defies normal logic can be defined as anomalous. Yeah. Anomalies can also be human. Yeah, I more so meant not normal humans. Like, I can't be an anomaly to the SCP Foundation because I'm just a guy. You know what I mean? But yes, in theory, if I was a normal if I was a man that had the ability to, like, grow wings and turn into a bird, I would then be an anomaly. It basically means separate from humanity or the expected norm.
Oh, Doctor. I wouldn't be so sure.
He's coming upstairs, chat. Be ready to spam it.
And so concludes
Chat, Mum's home!
SCP-049, the Plague Doctor.
Oh, she's home from work. We're gonna see Spider-Man together.
Wait, I can come in and give prawning.
Chloe, look at chat.
Oh my goodness! Oh, the little prawns!
Oh, Aura's gonna fight you. That's a fighty prawn.
Some of them not working.
What? No, they're all working.
Why does it say sleepy, sleepy, sleepy then?
Oh, because it's joining the words. That's fine.
Aren't they cute? Oh,
They're working in chat. It's just not working in my multi-chat. You can see it's working here.
Oh, I'm so happy, all the little prawns. They're cute.
We need to get you a gaming chair so you can so the prawn in the gaming chair won't make sense.
Have you seen how I sit in the one?
Yeah. We need to get you a big one so you can sit cross-legged. Yeah, chat. So you can see how it's working for you guys. Chloe was questioning this, because for me it looks like this right now, because my multi-chat for some reason cuts some of the words out. But this is what it looks like on Twitch. Yeah, Mother is very happy to see the prawn emotes, chat. It brings her full of joy. Sorry, I opened Discord. So I sent this, look, Chloe, where it was old model next to new model. Bilberry is full of rage.
He's like, why did I sign up for this shit?
Why am I still here? Alright, this video is almost done and we have one more to watch after it, so let's get the last bit done, chat.
I hope you've enjoyed.
Because there was kids screaming.
Oh, as they fucking do.
Mother is best. Mother is best. There's a reason she's my better half.
This video, be sure to like and subscribe.
And that's it, actually. So we got distracted right at the end, but that seems to be it. Yeah, SCP-049 is really interesting. There's multiple ways you could take it, right? There is a pestilence, and it is something that the SCP Foundation is unaware of, and humanity as a whole is unaware of, and it is something that is found across humans largely outside of the SCP Foundation. There's also the other direction you can take it, where there is no pestilence, and the Plague Doctor just has a broken mind, and is trying to cure something that does not exist. It could be either or. Either way, it's really interesting. Hopefully you guys found it interesting. Am I right? Am I wrong? How do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, chat. Is there a place I can recommend SCPs for you to watch? You can. Join the Discord. Go to Media Share. Sorry, I reorganized the server. Media Share, and this is where people... So, like, you can see here, Dollhouse. Because somebody suggested these, and I realized that I'd watched Overlord, but not Dollhouse, which looks like it's by the same people. It is, Evan. So I'm going to watch Dollhouse. Somebody suggested this. Can't watch it. Copywritten. But like, yeah, like SCP, this one I took from here. So like, I won't watch 100% of what's suggested, but I will watch what I can. There's obviously a balance to it, and me trying to get through as much of what you guys are suggesting. But you can put it there. I can't promise to watch it, but like, I can promise to try. Chat, we have one more that we need to do today, which is Dollhouse. My understanding is it's by the same people that did Overlord. Let me record an intro for it. All right, chat. Chat! I did not. I'm impressed by myself. Sorry. Sorry. Chat, we watched Overlord recently, and after watching it, there was a lot of people suggesting that I watch Dollhouse, made by the same people, Evan Royalty, but a different one. It's a little bit shorter than Overlord, and this time I won't be watching it at 1.25 speed. Enjoy! I did not know I was going to be able to hold that high of a pitch for that long. I was like, oh, I'm going to be dumb. This will be a funny intro. And then I just kept going and it never stopped. Oh, fuck me, man. What's wrong with my brain? Somebody needs to clip this. I need it so I can watch it back later. Oh, fuck me. All right, let's watch this. Dollhouse SCP by Evan Royalty. Yeah, it's the same thing as last time. Well, not same thing, sorry. Same people. It's like 8 years old or 6 years old or something. Zero one is okay. Bye, Waffle. Dollhouse is a scarier name than Overlord, I will say. So I wonder if this one's gonna be spooky, or at least more spooky.
Off, we're gonna have a hard time telling people it was a gas leak.
Depends on what happens. Powers, what's the pool at now?
Save it, Coleman. You had your chance.
I wasn't talking to you, O'Neill. Powers, when's the betting close?
We get out of the car. You gonna call it?
Depends on the pool.
Fletcher.
250. Given the intel, cognito hazard. That's my final answer.
Done. Hell yeah! Always wanted to take your fucking money.
Sorry, I love these fan films. They're always so much better than I expect, but the voice acting is always, without fail, the weakest part. Maybe it's because voice acting is like the hardest thing to do in them, but like the hell yeah, always wanted to take your money. It's just the delivery of voice acting must be the most difficult part of them, because they always do so well visually and like with the lore and building the world and sucking you in. The voice acting always pulls me out. Acting is hard, 100%. But it's just a bit that always catches me off guard when I watch them. Until I get sucked into the world, it's what I notice.
Let's get it, boys.
Payload 01 to talk. We've passed Vector, moving to the target building.
Ooh, wait, it's in a neighborhood this time. I, for some reason, expected it to be out in the middle of nowhere again. Oh. Sorry, 1 minute, I need to recalibrate my model. It's broken. You can see the lips aren't moving. Sorry about that, chat. Model went bought. Did they cancel something? Just to cancel something, I think. Bravo 6, going dog. Are we going in loud or sneaky beaky like? Very Splinter Cell. It is very dark, yeah. I think that's the point.
TOC, this is Payload 01, building secure. Moving to SSE, over. 02 and 3, on me. We'll handle the first floor.
Time to go look for nothing.
Come on, Coleman. Foundation's gotta know what kind of porn Middle America's got stashed in their closet.
Holy shit, he's into yiffing! What's happening? Okay, so for anybody confused, so far, they went to a house, they went inside, and it's been very dark. They didn't see anything, so they're exploring the house and searching for stuff. That's what we know so far.
Computer's a mess. Nothing's working right. I think it's got the clap.
You asked the question and I answered.
The densest
I'm a
part
bird
of
of
this
the
hard
people.
drive is the directory for a program called Java. It's software that's been running since before we got here. Looks just as fucked as the rest of this machine. Keeps crashing, hitching, and rebooting.
What's the program do?
I don't know, it just spits out code. All gibberish.
A woman!
You guys personally know any shrinks?
Are you asking because it's related to the mission, or are you just curious?
The female occupant. Any idea why this is here? She's living with this shrink, possibly in a relationship. Why is he bringing his work home with him?
I don't know, I'm not a shrink.
Didn't your friends in Langley do her background?
Yeah, none of this came up.
How the fuck does somebody get institutionalized and not let that go on record? You see that? She was in for a year. What do people think? She just went for a long walk? If Langley missed that, how much else don't we know?
Yeah, it's very spooky, but it's not the kind of anomaly we're after. Keep looking.
Hey, TL, can you come here for a sec?
What is it?
Anybody else been in the living room since we came up here?
No.
Okay, so who moved
It's
out
getting
all the
darker.
furniture? Hey, stop right there!
This is 01. We've spotted suspect 2 moving to apprehend. Over.
It is so dark. Muzzle discipline. Gonna shoot your friend in the ass.
Lost contact with suspect 2. Searching the area. Over.
There are hidden doors, some bullshit?
I like a challenge.
West, get up here, right now.
Ain't no way you're in the SCP universe and going, I like a challenge. Drop your macho man bullshit. You're gonna be quivering in your boots. Your timbers are gonna be shivered. You've got stuff like the Scarlet King, and something that if you stare at its face, it will literally drag the moon and sun together to get to you. What are we on about? In what world are you like, oh yeah, I love a challenge? Macho man bullshit. It's the SCP universe. You saw something travel through the hallway, weirdly moving. After it got visibly darker, it then disappeared. You are shitting bricks.
Couldn't have gone too far.
You find anything down there?
Literally.
Nothing concrete. What happened up here?
Suspect 2 walked into this room from the other door. We went after her, but didn't find anything.
TL, you're gonna need to see this.
Got something?
Come here, check this out, all of you.
Exactly. You won't be there very long either.
finally fucking lost it.
Fuck me.
Doc, this is Payload 01. We've passed trigger. Area appears to have non-Euclidean geometry that extends the house to an unknown degree. Moving in to reconnoiter the new area. Over.
Roger, 01. Status on suspect 2. Over.
Suspect's location is unknown at this time. Over.
Roger that. Proceed with the recon mission. If you feel as if the AO is too large for you to fully explore, get you and your men out of there. Over.
Understood. 01 out.
Any luck?
Nope. Just a lot of shit I don't understand.
Try password 123. Camel skin. Okay.
O'Neill, you know anything about the word cardoon?
The non-diegetic sounds are pretty atmospheric. Nothing helps with atmosphere like a bird on the side of the screen though, am I right? I'm sure my witty commentary in pausing the video was helping. Well, don't you worry. If you want to watch the video, in its full God-made atmospheric way, you can check the description and it will be linked down there. If you want to watch it with me though, stick around.
Affiliations are still unknown at this time, but it's likely to assume they are not the attackers from 2 days ago. If it is indeed a raid, then the methods employed don't line up when compared to the MO of the previous attackers. It is, however, possible that they may be connected through an anonymous tip between the 2 groups. A mutual benefit that would imply can only be speculated. Wait, something's not right.
Stay frosty.
Flashbang out. They just give me CSGO vibes.
Fuck, my nuts just turned off.
Mine too. I can't see shit.
Well, now we're in the same place, so...
Coleman, you see something?
Shit!
She stood in the corner. Sorry. It is genuinely as hard for me to see this as it is for you. In fact, it looks easier through my viewfinder. Through my viewfinder, I can see it more easily. She's here, and she's got like her arm coming out here. And she stood like this, and you can see she's got like long arms. Like this is one arm, and it comes down to the floor. It might be something she's holding.
Coleman, you see something?
And then it charges at her. Oh, wait, it like cuts. It like jumps. So this is its arm at the moment. And then, yeah, it like snaps, it teleports, and it walks towards him with like stabbing motion.
Shit!
Wait, we see it briefly, don't we? 1 minute. Play by speed. Don't worry, chat. I'm not going to make it play at 2 times speed. I just want to see if I can see what its face looks like. Oh. Look. No face. It has a head, but no face. Interesting. Sorry.
Coleman, you good?
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
He's connected to the program in some way?
Sir, we need to go right now.
Talk, this is Payload 01. We have a threat in the building. Current weapons possibly insufficient. Permission to clear out, over.
Granted, 01, get your men out of there. Over.
Roger that. 01 out.
Fuck this house.
Wes, let's go.
You gotta be kidding me.
It infected
Talk,
him with
this is 01. 06 is down. I repeat, 06 is down. Possibly KIA, over.
What should we do?
Nothing we can't do. We need to move.
Can I be real? I jump at everything. Like, I'm very flinchy.
How are you doing?
I had a flinched and ran the fuck out of there.
Everything is fine.
Nobody's come to the house.
No, there is nobody here. Everything is fine.
If you insist, just checking in on you.
Completely understandable.
Alright, well, sorry to wake you. Have a good night.
You too. Goodbye.
Target is no longer present.
He despawned.
Tried to raise you guys earlier. What happened to West?
He's gone.
What? How?
Dude got fucking vaporized or something.
Did you see anything else while you were in there? Anything that might point to what we're dealing with?
I don't even know how to describe it.
It was almost like a broken video game. Everything was glitching out, even the suspects.
Any clues on your end?
Just speculation. I think, this is just a guess, I think what you've seen here is connected to this computer. These glitches appearing may coincide with a lot of what I've seen on this machine. I think it's affecting everything in the area. Don't really know how or why, but like I said, it's my best guess right now.
So, theoretically, if you're right, then if we take that shit with us, it could possibly begin to affect things outside of the house?
That's assuming it isn't already doing that. Could have spread across this whole block for all we know.
So do we leave the laptop here?
That's a very good question.
Why don't we just hit the power switch?
No, we don't know what will happen once it's off.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of that experiment.
Here's what we can do. I can stay here while you guys return to the vehicle. I'll copy the important files over to a secure drive and then shut everything down.
You sure about that, Fletcher?
I'm sure.
I'll stay too. If you go down, I can finish the job.
Try to make it quick. Let's move out.
Good luck, boys.
Heroic sacrifice, question mark? It did feel weird that they all had their back to the door. They get attacked in the street. Foreshadowing about it spreading, perhaps? Like, does it spread through technology?
So much for that bet.
Some sort of like techno virus.
Nobody's ever won that.
Yeah. Always wanted to see a ghost, though.
Hi, Micro.
Fuck, my nods are no good. You almost done?
Yeah, we're good. Let's go.
Oh. You have a gun, brother. It might be useless, but surely you shoot. Oh. Huh? Okay, I like these short films, but they always end, and I'm like, it feels like an episode 1. I want to see what happens next. I guess that's a good thing, right? It means I enjoyed it. But like, fuck, I get into it and then it ends. I want answers. I want to see where it goes. It's very SCP to leave you with wanting more and not giving you all of the answers, and you sort of have to interpret it though. And they're so good though, man. The SCP community, unironically, very talented. Oh, fuck. Well, that was another amazing SCP short film by Evan Royalty. Hopefully you enjoyed. Goodbye. Man, that was so good. Fuck. Hi, Muesli. What are you doing, El Fato Cato? Oh, come here. Come here, Fatty. What are you doing? Oh. Oh, hello. Oh. I have Chunko Cat with me. She says, purr, 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 meow. Isn't that right? You're here to spread hair on my keyboard. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, I stayed away for 2 weeks when I was dog sitting for my parents. Not a single hair in my keyboard. Want to ruin yourself by playing ranked? I don't know if I have time to do ranked today. We'll see. I think right. So let me just work this out, chat. So I have a video for tomorrow, a video for the next day, a video. So Sunday, meaning I'd need to record more on Monday, but I have something on Monday that I can't talk about yet. So Monday I won't be able to record. Tuesday I think I'll be busy. So maybe Wednesday is the best next day to record, or Thursday, which would mean I need to watch another 3. It might be another 3 I need to watch. There is also just the chance second channel uploads are a bit patchy next week. Because it might be Thursday or Friday next week I re-record. The new PvE. I don't know if I'm going to make a new video on it, but I want to try that out today. I have like 2 hours left that I can stream. Chat, is there any short SCPs we could do? Because we've done the ones I really wanted to do. Is there like any shorter SCPs we could do? And then maybe I'll have time to play some Rivals with Micro before dropping off. I don't want to do ranked. I think I want to do the new PvE and see what it's like. The video in the explanation is welcome. I recommend looking into SCP series. Oh, the SCP series Explore series for SCP is something that keeps getting suggested. Exploring the SCP Foundation's more safe. It's been. Is this good? Please do Marshmallow. Okay, I'm not asking for your personal things. I'm asking what you think would be good. Safety such TTS. Muscle discipline. I'm pretty sure this is having the floor right there in front of him meant that anything short of shooting him there would have been a risky thing to do because there were, what, 3 to 5 people he was hitting. Yeah, it's Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday. It isn't Wednesday. So you guys think I should do Marshmallow? I could probably get by Just doing one more. Micro, if you give me 10 minutes. SCP Marshmallow. Okay. Dr. Bob, isn't that one people were suggesting? Dr. Bob is one people were suggesting, right? Community. Get rid of these. Dr. Bob. Will you ever watch Dr. Bob? I would also recommend Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob. Okay, Dr. Bob is one that people have suggested. All right, I will watch the Dr. Bob one. This will be our last one for today.
In the end.
Right. Yeah. Let me record another intro. Cha 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 cha. We're back. We're reacting to another SCP video. This time SCP-5776. 100% most definitely a Keter by Dr. Bob. A couple of you have suggested this channel, so I'm checking it out with this SCP because I only have time for one more SCP reaction today, unfortunately. And my chat wanted me to react to something to do with a marshmallow, so I googled SCP Marshmallow. This came up. I recognized the name Dr. Bob, and it's one of the channels you guys have told me I should look into. So that's what we're doing today. Enjoy!
In the annals of the SCP Foundation's history, there have been plenty of anomalies that have kept personnel awake at night. Entities that prey on humans, either devouring them as a source of food or toying with innocent people for their own twisted amusement.
Is that the old man? That gives old man
Beings that can rewrite reality, erase entire lives from existence on a whim, and even creatures who delight in sowing chaos. Yet of all the anomalies known to the Foundation, there is perhaps one that is more terrifying than any other. It has been designated SCP-5776, and it is 100%, undeniably, without a shadow of a doubt, most definitely a Keter-class entity.
Is this just a joke, Bob?
And despite what you may have been told, SCP-5776 is not a common food product. According to its entry on the SCP Foundation's database, SCP-5776 is a highly dangerous entity of near immeasurable power. Researchers have concluded that this anomaly possesses enough raw power to cause devastating destruction to human civilization, and its primary goal is to do just that. This entity exists to destroy everything that it can, seemingly simply because it can. And should it breach containment, little will be able to stop it from achieving this goal. The SCP Foundation considers the continued containment of SCP-5776 to be of the utmost importance for the continued survival of the human race.
Would that counter it?
SCP-5776 has been observed to possess the capability to drastically alter its physical form, changing all aspects of its shape and mass at will.
I can do that.
Closer spectral analysis carried out by Foundation experts in the field of anomalous metamorphosis has revealed that the entity is even capable of changing its own cellular genetic makeup. This metamorphic ability is largely why SCP-5776 is considered to be such a considerable threat. There is widespread concern that if freed from containment, the anomaly will be able to seamlessly disguise itself in order to avoid detection and recontainment. In this scenario, nothing will be able to prevent SCP-5776 from carrying out its primary objective, swiftly and with brutal efficiency. Researchers and Foundation emergency response strategists have conferred and agree that once freed, SCP-5776 will be able to enact the total extinction of the entire human race within a matter of days, potentially even within a few hours. While still currently contained, the anomalous shapeshifter has expressed an intense eagerness to escape Foundation custody. It also appears to hold the Foundation in the highest contempt, frustrated at the organization responsible for confining it, and vowing to destroy them first, should it ever have the opportunity. Currently, SCP-5776 remains housed in a large containment cell, situated somewhere within Site-19. Given the significant danger posed by this entity, the exact location of its containment cell is classified. A reality anchoring device has been used to aid in containment and must remain attached to SCP-5776 at all times. Despite the effects of this device, SCP-5776 has shown itself to still be capable of carrying out its shape-shifting abilities, albeit only in a limited capacity. It cannot change itself into a form that would allow for it to quickly break free from containment. This is something that the entity expresses a near constant frustration at, finding the limitations on its anomalous abilities to be as much of an annoyance as it finds being contained to be. Whilst in containment, the anomaly has assumed a number of different forms, ranging from humanoid shapes that mimic members of Foundation personnel, including researchers, doctors, and even a member of the O5 Council. It has additionally assumed the form of several other SCP items, entities, and creatures.
No!
The exact
not my
anomalies
go!
it has impersonated are redacted in SCP-5776's file. However, notably, whenever the entity alters its appearance, it gains the abilities of whatever form it assumes. This has been particularly noticeable whenever SCP-5776 has mimicked other anomalies, gaining the properties of an object or creature through the means of anomalous impersonation. The Foundation considers this an additional reason that SCP-5776 is a significant threat. Although its ability to recreate...
I mean, yeah, if you can transform into anything and get the powers of the thing you've transformed into, and you are aware of other things that have limitless power, your power is also limitless by extension. I don't know how to do that.
Anomalous properties of other SCPs is dampened thanks to the reality anchoring device used to keep the creature contained. It has been unanimously agreed by multiple departments that SCP-5776 cannot learn of other anomalous entities within Foundation containment or those in the custody of other groups of interest. Efforts have been made to limit the information the creature has access to in order to limit which SCPs it is aware of, in the hopes of restricting the potentially endless selection of alternate forms SCP-5776 can assume.
Yep, seems
Beyond recreating the appearance and abilities of other anomalies, SCP-5776 has also been known to take several forms considered unique to itself. However, it remains unknown to the Foundation which of these is its natural shape.
What if it doesn't
there is
have a
debate
natural
among
shape?
researchers over which form is SCP-5776's actual shape, though it has been known to materialize as an unknown large beast, an unidentified winged scorpion, and a giant amorphous entity. The entity's current form is a small, white cylinder, though it has been noted by researchers that the creature in no way resembles a small edible confectionery product, and it remains a frightening, imposing threat to the Foundation. Case in point, there exists a recovery log detailing the Foundation's initial encounter with SCP-5776, how it was discovered, and ultimately contained. However, under direct orders from an O5 Council member, this document has been removed in its entirety from SCP-5776's file. The reason? Its contents are deemed too disturbing, even for Foundation personnel.
Crazy.
SCP-5776 is capable of communicating with researchers, and though this is normally dependent on the form it takes, the Foundation has mandated personnel to conduct interviews with the entity. The hope from Foundation higher-ups is that researchers will be able to reason with SCP-5776 over the course of continued conversations with it. These attempts have been met with varying results, the first interview being conducted by researcher Ox. Upon entry into the containment chamber to converse with the entity, researcher Ox was met with silence, attempting to nervously greet SCP-5776. The creature did not respond verbally, but changed its appearance to resemble SCP-Redacted, which the researcher remarked as being highly frightening. Before they could finish their sentence, SCP-5776 imploded into a ball of fire, triggering an emergency site-wide lockdown. Sector 5 of Site-19 was severely charred in the resultant blaze, as was researcher Ox. A second interview was undertaken a month later by researcher Davis, though only once SCP-5776 had assumed an amorphous, gel-like form. It was hoped that this would be marginally safer than if it was impersonating another anomaly. At the beginning of the interview, SCP-5776 outright asked the researcher why it was being held by the Foundation. Researcher Davis explained that the entity was dangerous, as well as particularly terrifying and not at all cute. SCP-5776 acknowledged it was aware of this. When asked by researcher Davis if it had any comment about the damage it had caused to Sector 5 during the prior interview, the anomaly only responded by stating it would do it again. Before the interviewing researcher could question SCP-5776 further, the entity violently released a burst of plasma-based fire, presumably to make good on its promise to repeat the previous month's incident. However, fortunately, automated blast doors within the creature's containment unit closed in time, preventing another fire. Following this incident, any interviews or other direct communication with SCP-5776 were forbidden under any circumstances, though this wouldn't stop it from continually attempting to escape. On an undisclosed date, sometime during the year 2012, SCP-5776 was able to escape the confines of its cell during the chaos of a mass-scale containment breach at Site-19. After breaching containment, SCP-5776 began to depart the Foundation facility and head west for unknown reasons, though it appeared to be heading for multiple large population centers, including a major city. Given the significant danger posed by SCP-5776 and the potential destruction it could unleash if it was able to reach a populated settlement, 2 high-ranking mobile task forces were sent to intercept SCP-5776. Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11, also known under the codename Nine-Tailed Fox, is usually tasked with handling internal security operations within the Foundation. This Special Operations Force is deployed to Foundation sites when standard containment protocols are inadequate to combat a breach, or if multiple containment breaches are imminent. They operate under the oversight of MTF Alpha-1, codenamed Red Right Hand, who were also deployed in order to secure the threat of SCP-5776. The Red Right Hand are named as such given that they report directly to the O5 Council and are only deployed in situations that require the strictest operational security. Their ranks are filled with the best and most loyal operatives within the Foundation, and the O5 Council deemed their deployment an absolute necessity in order to recapture SCP-5776. With both Red Right Hand and Nine-Tailed Fox in pursuit, SCP-5776 was discovered having assumed the form of another redacted SCP. Mobile Task Force operatives were able to establish visual contact with the escaped entity at roughly 1:30 a.m., little over half an hour after it had breached containment. At 2 a.m. that same morning, after requesting permission to engage from the O5 Council, Red Right Hand were given a
noise. I apologize. This kid's being loud on the street. There's nothing I can do about it. It's the summer holidays. Obviously, it's like their street too. It's irritating, but like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's entirely reasonable for them to be playing out.
Green light to launch an all-out assault against SCP-5776. They were instructed to utilize explosives to slow the entity down once it was within firing range.
So it isn't
complying with their order, both MTF Alpha-1 and MTF Epsilon 11 opened fire. They deployed a barrage of high explosive artillery shells, remote-guided missiles, and shoulder-launched ordnance that quickly engulfed SCP-5776 in an eruption of explosive fire. Autonomous drones conducting flybys kept close watch on the anomalous shapeshifter, with thermal imaging feeds providing operatives on the ground with an overhead view of the creature. The explosive bombardment lasted for 3 hours. By 5 o'clock that morning...
Okay, I'm just going to say the obvious, and I've never seemed dumb by saying the obvious before, right? If you can shapeshift, just shapeshift into something unnoticeable. Or something that's like a bug that's like native to the area, or a bird that's native to the area. Why are you being a big-ass monster before you get to the city? If my goal as a monster was to make it to the city, I'm becoming like let's say a robin is native. I'm becoming a robin. Or a bug. And I'm going. And they're not going to notice me, because guess what? I'm a bug. There's tens of thousands of bugs. In like especially near us, or like a rat, or something. Something that you would find. Become like a barn owl. You know what I mean? Hi, Cloud. Like, why is he becoming a big fuck off monster? Like, I get it. Become big fuck off monster in the city if you want to destroy the city. But like, surely you could do better than this beforehand.
Explosive reserves were running low, and Red Right Hand operatives issued requests for a resupply, which arrived shortly after. 45 minutes later, with the Foundation still in pursuit, SCP-5776 was no closer to being subdued, and the surrounding area had sustained considerable damage. The entity turned around to face the mobile task forces pursuing it and assumed the form of a large dragon. MTF operatives continued firing upon the creature, but its scales appeared impervious to conventional firepower. Shooting at SCP-5776 in its dragon form did nothing to slow it down. The situation was looking increasingly dire. 2 of the Foundation's most well-equipped mobile task force units had so far been unable to mobile task forces pursuing it and requests for a resupply, with thermal imaging feeds providing operatives on the ground.
Chat, my mods can change it. I've said this before. My mods have the ability to control whether I'm zoomed in or not. They just don't. They have a command. Look, they can do this, or they can do this. They can change my scene. You keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to change it. I'm not blaming you. It's just like, instead of going, guys, you're zoomed in, guys, you zoomed in. Instead, the mods can just type !main and it'll fix it immediately. It's not difficult. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. See? CDPC? If I forget and you notice, you can always do that. Anyway, I don't know how much we missed.
Kept close watch on the anomalous shapeshifter, with thermal imaging feeds providing operatives on the ground with an overhead view of the creature. The explosive bombardment lasted for 3 hours.
We definitely
By 5 o'clock that morning, explosive reserves were running low, and Red Right-Hand operatives issued requests for a resupply, which arrived shortly after. 45 minutes later, with the Foundation still in pursuit, SCP-5776 was no closer to being subdued, and the surrounding area had sustained considerable damage. The entity turned around to face the mobile task forces pursuing it and assumed the form of a large dragon. MTF operatives continued firing upon the creature, but its scales appeared impervious to conventional firepower. Shooting at SCP-5776 in its dragon form did nothing to slow it down. The situation was looking increasingly dire. 2 of the Foundation's most well-equipped mobile task force units had so far been unable to subdue the creature. They needed backup.
I do wonder how
An
they
emergency
captured it the
anomalous
first time.
requisition request was issued to the O5 Council for urgent approval to deploy SCP-Redacted to the field. Aware of just how dangerous SCP-5776 was,
Ooh, they're
the
weaponizing
Foundation's
an SCP
leadership
against it.
permitted the requested anomaly to be dispatched, but although personnel moved quickly to enact the order, they weren't fast enough. By 7 o'clock, SCP-5776 had destroyed the nearby town of Redacted, causing significant civilian casualties and leaving a path of destruction in its wake. It was only after the town had been obliterated that SCP-Redacted arrived on the scene. The pair of anomalies quickly engaged in a violent altercation, though SCP-5776 seemed to underestimate the power of its opponent. After 28 minutes of trading blows, the requisitioned anomaly was able to emerge victorious, slowing SCP-5776 down long enough for it to be restrained and returned to containment back at Site-19. There are few anomalies as horrifying or as dangerous as SCP-5776. In fact, Foundation researchers estimate it ranks highly among the most dangerous known anomalies in the world, let alone just those in Foundation custody. A malicious shape-changer capable of destroying anything and everything if it wishes, and it is definitely not cute. But what if everything the Foundation knew about SCP-5776 was wrong, and not just by mistake, but by design? Buried in the depths of the anomalies file on the SCP database, beneath layers of encryption and restricted behind a Level 1 5776 classification, is a secret file. Any unauthorized attempts to view
I sure do hope it isn't like the other files.
it are met with immediate disciplinary action. Any personnel who are found to have read this document, or, God forbid, revealed its existence to SCP-5776, are to face the most severe punishment. SCP-5776 is not what the Foundation thinks it is. It isn't even what it thinks it is. As it turns out, SCP-5776 is not one of the most dangerous anomalies the Foundation has ever faced, not even close.
Knew it.
In actuality, this info-hazardous entity poses next to no threat to human life at all. It merely wishes to be perceived that way. Classified as safe, SCP-5776's true anomalous capability lies in how it is able to alter any recorded descriptions of itself, from rewriting the text of its SCP database entry, or even altering images, video, and audio recordings of itself. it typically alters these descriptions to depict itself as a frightening, highly dangerous, anomalous entity. Capable
It's like an edgy 15-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so cool and dark. I'm so cool. I'm so scary. It's just an edgy 15-year-old.
Of unleashing an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. However, it can only alter information about it when it is made aware of the exact mediums it is presented in, which is why keeping its true file concealed from this anomaly is considered a disciplinary offense. Usually, researchers have found it easy to tell when a document has been altered by SCP-5776. Linguistic analysts have noted specific patterns that are present throughout the anomalously rewritten version of its SCP file.
Hey Grok, make me sound really scary and intense.
These are especially prevalent in the incorrect grammar and abrupt statements. While these mistakes are believed to be unintentional, they provide clear indicators that SCP-5776 has tampered with the text. Localized backups of any Foundation material that references SCP-5776 are to be maintained and regularly viewed by a human member of personnel for the presence of any of these indicators. Rather than being a mysterious, shape-changing entity of unknown origins, as it would have people believe, SCP-5776's exact appearance and its discovery are well documented within the accurate version of its file. The anomaly itself bears little distinction from an ordinary marshmallow, measuring approximately half an inch in diameter.
Grok, depict me as a world-ending Chad and the Foundation as the Virgin Chuds. Computer, make me sound really badass and cool and scary. Also, make the people containing me sound like weak beta male cooks. Computer. Good job, computer.
Diameter and around 1.5 inches tall. In its neutral state, SCP-5776 bears a smiley face, which analysis reveals was hand-drawn on with a standard black marker pen. If SCP-5776 learns that it has been described or depicted in a non-threatening manner, the marshmallow's face will immediately shift, instead portraying an angered expression, usually with the addition of eyebrows. SCP-5776 has also been witnessed as being capable of movement, though in a limited capacity, making only small hops or swaying gently, enough to fall onto its side and roll. What remains unknown is whether or not SCP-5776 possesses sentience. However, its recovery has been documented in the full untampered version of its file. On May 29, 2015, Foundation Agent Addison discovered the anomalous marshmallow in the staff break room of Site-19. While rummaging around in a bag of Haribo-branded marshmallows, Agent Addison was recorded on security cameras pausing when she discovered a single marshmallow with a drawn-on smiley face inside. Pulling it out of the bag and examining it, Agent Addison made a single, short expression of how adorable she found the object, which caused it to start wiggling in her hand. SCP-5776's face switched to its angry expression, and in surprise, the Foundation agent dropped the object onto the floor. While Agent Addison shrieked in surprise, SCP-5776 rolled away into the corridor before it was stopped by Site Director Moose, later being given its anomalous classification and assigned containment procedures. An extensive investigation into the Haribo Company has caused the Foundation to conclude they had no involvement with the creation of SCP-5776. To date, 3 individual tests have been conducted involving the anomalous marshmallow to test the limits of its info-hazardous abilities. In the initial test, taking place on the 11th of June 2015, SCP-5776 was positioned directly in front of D-Class personnel member D-4415, who was then instructed to write a visual description of the object. They were told not to read their description aloud or show its contents to SCP-5776 until they had finished. After their first sentence, D-4415 was then told to show SCP-5776 how it had been depicted, which caused their writing to be erased and rewritten. There had been no anomalous activity up until the marshmallow was shown the written description, at which point it displayed its angered expression and the contents was changed to describe a hostile, shape-shifting anomalous entity.
Just a scary little
This
fella.
text was then erased and rewritten again, and in response, SCP-5776 displayed a less angry but still irritated expression. These alterations were further changed, implying SCP-5776 could tell when text it had previously altered was edited or rewritten. The second test took place on June 2nd the same year, wherein D-4415 was instructed...
Yes, he isn't actually a shape-shifting monster dude. He's just He's just he's just a LARPer. He's LARP Sahur, the SCP. He LARPs as a world-ending SCP because he wants to be perceived as spooky scary, and it upsets him when he isn't perceived that way. He is anomalous in that he can, he has the ability to rewrite things outside of his control to make it seem visually like through cameras or writing that he is scary, but he can't change reality in that he can't change himself to actually be scary.
To write a simple phrase asking SCP-5776 if it could think, speak, or otherwise communicate. Researcher Gray was noted as making the addition of "you little puffball" in the hopes of triggering a reaction from the anomaly. When SCP-5776 was exposed to the written question, the text was once again anomalously changed to describe a shape-shifting entity that was capable of triggering an XK end-of-the-world scenario. A small ink smudge on the opposite side of the page was also found, and after being analyzed more closely, appeared to have been made up of the word "embarrassed," written around 250 times in the same spot. Researchers are still unsure if this was a programmed response, or if SCP-5776 has been displaying evidence of sentience during testing. Similarly, it remains unclear why it chooses to describe itself as a dangerous entity, whether this is due to its own insecurity surrounding its true non-threatening form, or whether this is a reflection of how SCP-5776 sees itself. Over 2 years later, a third test was conducted, this time with D-5014, a member of D-Class personnel who had formerly worked as a tattoo artist. D-5014 was instructed to draw an accurate representation of the anomalous marshmallow on a provided sheet of paper while facing away from SCP-5776. When they were finished, a researcher then described D-5014's drawing out loud. Approximately halfway through the process, they were interrupted and told to show the depiction to SCP-5776 and then continued drawing. When SCP-5776 was informed of the nature of the drawing by the present researcher, the anomaly once again displayed an angry expression. Though this time it did not alter the drawing, leading the Foundation to conclude that, unlike with textual descriptions of it, SCP-5776 needs to first directly observe visual depictions of it like photos and artwork. When D-5014 showed the anomalous marshmallow the drawing, the finished piece was altered dramatically to resemble an unknown creature. D-5014 continued to attempt to accurately draw SCP-5776, but suddenly seemed unable to, causing them mild distress and leading to the cessation of testing. SCP-5776's entry in the SCP database would have remained accurate and unaltered were it not for an incident that took place on May 22, 2020. Several junior researchers were reprimanded for revealing SCP-5776's official Foundation documentation to the anomaly, reading them loudly outside its containment area. This resulted in SCP-5776's entry being completely rewritten to center on its shape-shifting alter ego. Researcher Gray volunteered many hours of their time to recreate the original, accurate version of the file. Following the incident, SCP-5776's containment procedures were updated, requiring it to be held in a soundproof room in Sector 4 of Site-19. The marshmallow is kept within a glass container, visible from a nearby viewing window. Any Foundation personnel requiring access to SCP-5776 documentation must first ensure that the containment chamber window is fully blacked out. This is to prevent the anomaly from visually perceiving any descriptive material, thereby avoiding further unauthorized alterations to official records. Above all, personnel are instructed to remember that SCP-5776 is 100%, most definitely, a Keter-class anomaly. Check out the Dr. Bob Patreon and become a junior researcher.
Way! I mean, what a cool little guy. I love him. I love him. I mean, no. Scared of him. Scary. I'm terrified. I said I'd accept any Keter-class SCP existing in the real world to have 999. I lied. The little marshmallow fella, too scary. Too scary. I don't want him in the real world. He too spooky, okay? He too spooky. No thank you. I do love him. I mean, no, I am terrified of him. DPC, we're terrified of him. Do not break the rules. We're scared. He's very scary. He's gonna end the world. What a cool little guy. It became a little bit obvious where it was heading to, towards like the halfway mark, but that's fine. We love it. You want him as a pet? I don't think he wants to be a pet. I think he wants to end the world, but like Doesn't have the capacity to. I love him. He's very cool. Oh, there was actually, depending on the length of it, one more I was meant to do today, and I just remembered. It's called like iPods. All right, it's only 7 minutes long. We'll do this one. All right. Yeah, I lied. I said I only had time for one more, but it turns out this highly suggested SCP is a shorter one, so we do have time for one more. We're returning to the Vulcan. It is SCP-131, the iPods safe. Enjoy. This one I've seen suggested a lot. People seem to like the iPods, so I wanted to get it. Yeah, I wanted to do it. The image looked really weird. They were just like eye stalks. Yeah, like this.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-131. Object class, safe.
They're kind of cute in a weird way.
Procedures. No special safety procedures are to be taken with SCP-131-A and SCP-131-B. They are free to travel about Site-19 so long as they do not attempt to enter any restricted areas or attempt to leave the facility. Casual contact with the subjects is permitted, but it is recommended that such contact be kept to a minimum to prevent the creatures from forming an attachment to personnel.
Oh, they get attached to people.
Hourly tabs are to be kept on subjects at all times. Failure to account for their presence at these times constitutes a Level 1 lockdown situation. Any report of abuse or mistreatment of the subjects will result in a harsh reprimand.
Wait, why would you ever abuse them? They're just weird little freaky guys. Surely you just love them.
Description: SCP-131-A and SCP-131-B, affectionately named the iPods by personnel, are a pair of teardrop-shaped creatures roughly 30 centimeters in height, with a single blue eye in the middle of their bodies. SCP-131-A is a burnt orange color, while SCP-131-B is a mustard yellow. At the base of each creature is a wheel-like protrusion which allows for locomotion.
Oh, they don't
suggesting
fly.
that the creatures may be biomechanical in origin.
I thought they
The
flew.
subjects can move surprisingly fast, covering over 60 meters in a matter of seconds. The subjects, however, lack a braking system, which has led to some rather spectacular, if not overly...
These guys are great. I love them. They're weird little freaky eye dudes. They can't really stop, so they crash into walls.
amusing mishaps involving the creatures. The subjects have also shown the ability to climb sheer surfaces and have gotten lost in the air vents on more than one occasion. The subjects seem to have the intelligence of common house cats and are insatiably curious. Most of the time, they simply roll around the facility, observing personnel at work and catching peeks of other safe-class SCPs.
Do you reckon they'd be friends with 999?
Seem to be able to communicate with each other via an untranslatable, high-pitched babbling. The subjects have never been observed to blink, even in laboratories when the subjects have been videotaped for over 18 consecutive hours. The subjects seem to respond well to any affection given to them and will quickly bond to the giver of said affection, much in the same way a puppy bonds with a human being.
Fuck the rules. I'm gonna... Right, listen, we're gonna make a safe class SCP house, and it's gonna be me, and it's gonna be a 24-hour, 7 days a week live stream, and I'm gonna live with 999, the iPods, and all the cute guys, and it's just gonna be me in permanent ecstasy and joy with these cute little guys. You know what? We can even bring the marshmallow. The marshmallow can be there and be cranky about being perceived as cute, but he's a cute little guy, and I love him as well. Okay? All of them. We're living together in this house, and we're gonna be the best of friends forever.
They will follow anyone or anything they've made a bond with anywhere, even into normally restricted areas.
They just get very
Although
attached.
Curious, the subjects can sense danger in their general vicinity, and if the object of their bond begins to approach something they register as dangerous, for example, Euclid or Keter class objects, they will swarm around their bonded companion's feet or approximate extremities, while babbling in a panicked tone as if
they
to
want to
warn
keep
them.
you safe.
Because of the daily dangers faced by Site-19 staff in dealing with Euclid and Keter class objects, it is recommended that staff avoid making attempts to bond with the subjects, as it can pose a distraction during delicate operations and experiments and may pose a danger to the subjects themselves. See Addendum 131.
Wait, no, I don't want to put them in danger.
If the subjects are ignored by their bonded target long enough, they will eventually lose interest and return to their normal activities. It should be noted that the subjects require no real care or maintenance from the site staff. They do
just
not
sort of
eat,
vibe.
leave droppings, or even sleep. It would seem that the only sustenance they require is visual stimulation, although this requires further study to verify.
Interesting.
Subjects SCP-131-A and SCP-131-B were found in a cornfield outside in the year 19. They were promptly transported to Site-19 via and were...
Okay, so we have ketchup and mustard. They are little eye guys, they're little freaks, but really they're just like cat eyes in that they act like cats. They just want to lurk around and exist around people and observe things, which might be how they feed by observing. And they get attached to people that are nice to them, and then will worry if that person is in danger and try to be like, which is the sound they make, lore accurate noise, by the way, and try and lure them away from the noise so they do not get hurt. They're just little cuties. Honestly, they're perfect. I love them.
Then downgraded to safe class and given free reign across the site once it became clear they were not broadcasting what they saw to any hostile foreign powers. Addendum 131-1. During an incident that took place on... The subjects followed one of the cleaning staff on routine cleaning of the container of SCP-173.
Ooh.
After their normal attempts to warn the cleaner of the danger were ignored, the creatures rushed into the container in front of him and the other two personnel on duty. Once inside, the staff members observed the subjects sitting in front of SCP-173 and watching it intently, as if aware it could only move if unobserved.
Oh, interesting.
The cleaners ignored the presence of the subjects and continued with the bi-weekly cleaning as per standard procedures.
So I assume by as per standard procedures, they mean that the cleaners had one person always staring at it, even though the iPods were staring at it.
When the cleaning crew left, the subjects did as well, rolling backwards slowly and never taking their eyes off of SCP-173.
They are intelligent then.
Current applications of SCP-1...
I know they said they think it's cat-like intelligence, but that shows a deeper intelligence, because it's understanding of another, which I've spoken about before. But intelligence isn't a simple thing, and understanding what another thing needs to do to react and behave and think in a certain way is a deep level of intelligence that a lot of animals really struggle with. The idea that I can look at you, understand what you're thinking, and understand what causes you to think that way, it is a very high level of intelligence. So then being able to look at something and go, if I do this thing, it will do this thing. If I do that thing, it will do another. That's like a deep level of intelligence. It's far higher than like cats. Cats are smart, but they're not that level of intelligent. Cats just sort of know what, like, they vibe out their intelligence. You know what I mean? This seems more intelligent than cats.
131-A and SCP-131-B as wardens for SCP-173 and perhaps other SCP which require constant observation, such as SCP-689, are being considered. Okay, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Yeah, they have no eyelids, so they don't blink. I figured. Yeah, that was a short one, but it was cute. I really enjoyed it. Sometimes it's nice, like, just to enjoy the cuter stories in the SCP universe, because there's a lot of really cool lore and a lot of really cool monsters and ideas and themes. But then sometimes you just like 999 or the iPods or stuff like that. It's just nice to be like, oh yeah, not everything in this universe is dark and miserable and wants to kill you. Some of it is just here to vibe, you know? I really appreciate it. This is the final video on my current batch of recordings, so any feedback I've got over the past couple of days will now take effect tomorrow onwards or next upload onwards. Let me know, especially for this video, if there's anything you'd like to see reacted to or for me to look into in the future. Thank you for the constant support. Thank you for all the love. If you want to watch me on YouTube live, RavenSPCR is the account that you will find me live on YouTube or Twitch on my normal account. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye! Chat! We finished reacting to SCP for today. There were some really good ones in there today. I really enjoyed a lot of them. I think I'm going to nip for a pee quickly, and I'll come back, and we will figure out what we're doing. I have potentially like an hour before I need to get ready, so we have an hour to kill. Maybe we'll do some Marvel Rivals or something. Give me 2 minutes just to nip to the loo. I'm going to say hi to Chloe because I haven't properly greeted her since she got home from work. So give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to yeah, basically take a 5-minute break and then come back, all right? Thank you for those of you that were here for the SCP stuff. If you want to drop away, I understand. Maybe Marvel Rivals isn't your thing. If you want to stick around and maybe see if you enjoy me playing things outside of just React content, I'd appreciate it. I'll be back shortly.